Or what if, this is going to be crazy for a LeBron guy to try to visualize, but what if we get a generation that's actually tougher? You know, guys who could play back-to-back. Woo!
Guys who went to
That's
war.
so crazy.
Pick themselves up by their bootstraps.
82 games. And the last point I'm going to make to you is the NBA has turned to an offensive league. They have literally changed the rules to make players score more. Like the no hands-on rule. We heard last season they were talking about getting rid of the charge. I mean, how much pushes of help do these offensive players need to surpass LeBron? It's going to happen. It's probably going to happen multiple times. And LeBron will be a thing of the past, just like y'all try to do to Jordan.
Welcome to GOAT James Kingdom. Welcome. I am Ajani the Exposer, and y'all have now been exposed by the Exposer. I appreciate it. And enjoy. I am called Ajani the Exposer. You guys are being exposed today.
Your opinion, I guess.
Move on from it. It was the 90s. That's it, bro. Move on from that. You don't know history. You don't know basketball. You just told me I'm stupid. But look how stupid you look because you don't know
I know all this
basketball. You don't know history. You don't know jamming. You don't know schematics. You don't know coaching. You don't know scouting. You don't know drafting. You don't know nothing but that Michael Jordan's great because the media said you that. So told you to say that. I know that is recorded, and you are officially being exposed by the Exposer, and you're gonna sit there like a man and take this just like Buddy did 2 weeks ago.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Hey, get your numbers up. I had to get my numbers up.
Peace and blessings, y'all. Welcome to another Friday Night Exposure with the Exposer. Y'all know who I am, Ajani the Exposer, one half of the GOAT James Kingdom platform. The platform you need to go ahead and just hit that subscribe button to. Also hit the like button for tonight's show. Hit that ring notification so that you know when we go live like we do every Friday night right here on the GOAT James Kingdom platform. Thank you for joining me again for another great Friday night as we're going to do another great show. As you can see, we're going to talk about the House of Highlights and how they put a 10 versus 1, right? They took one LeBron fan and threw him up against 10 other LeBron haters. And that is what we're going to talk about today because we're going to react to that because I am envious of this. I want the smoke. I want a 20v1 versus Zesty Jeffries. This man got to sit here and just eat him up alive. And I couldn't get that. I couldn't get my plate filled with some real talk about the GOAT conversation because all we heard a whole bunch, as you can see, the young lady was already mentioning stuff about LeBron James and the toughness of today's NBA. The lies these Zesty Jeffries say. It's always something with these Zesty Jeffries, man. They can make up lies. I'm telling you, man, they need to just be like fairy tale storybook writers for children's novels and shit like that because they're great at it, man. They could make a whole new Hunger Game trilogy off of the way they be making up shit for Michael Jordan to be the GOAT. But we about to have some fun, ladies and gentlemen. I see y'all in the comments. Shout out to everybody here. Thank you for joining me. What up, Zero? A GOAT James Kingdom member. Always in support. What up, Christopher? Always supporting us here in GOAT James Kingdom. Y'all know what to do, man. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. As I said before, we're going to be discussing this 20v1 between this guy. I think his name was Isaac. Okay, House of Blues is the one that did it. I'm not House of Blues. House of Highlights. Shout out to House of Highlights. They're the ones who set it up, and they did a good job with this, man. This was actually a good, even though there's some parts that I didn't agree with. Well, I felt like the LeBron guy was being a little bit too lenient with these people and because they were coming at him. You know how the Zesty Jeffries are. And there's a couple of Zesty Jeffries. So let's get right to it. Like I said, y'all, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Don't be afraid to become a member of the channel. Again, this is the Friday Night Exposure with the Exposer. I'm Ajani the Exposer. I'm here to do some exposing. I'll put the link up very shortly for y'all to join me if you want to have a conversation with me. But y'all also know there are some games in the slate. I'm taking my time out to do this with y'all, even though my boys are facing OKC right now. and we are facing OKC, and it's halftime, and it's 50-47, the Miami Heat versus OKC. Jimmy Butler actually was playing, but then he got himself taken out. Supposedly he's not feeling well, so he's not playing. But we have the real big matchup, which is the Cleveland Cavaliers going up against Milwaukee. The Cleveland Cavaliers are at home, and they are up 84-64 versus Milwaukee. So it looks like the Cleveland Cavaliers are showing everybody why they are the team that they've been all season long. And then we also got the Philadelphia 76ers are playing against Charlotte tonight, and I think Embiid is on the floor as well. I didn't get a chance to check out the highlights of that game or even peep into that game yet, but yeah, Embiid is actually playing tonight. So far, Embiid got 22 points and 7 assists, but he only got 1 rebound. He got 0 boards right now. But those are the games that are on the slate, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all know what we doing around here. This is the Friday Night Exposure with the Exposer. We're also going live on IG. So shout out to everybody that's on the IG account that support us on our IG page as well. And we're also going live in our Facebook group. So shout out to everybody who's a Facebook member in our group of the GOAT James Kingdom membership and all that, all the good stuff that goes along. Y'all know we're on TikTok, Twitter, Discord. We're everywhere. We are the GOAT James Kingdom platform. I'm Ajani, the Exposer. This is the Friday Night Exposure with the Exposer. So let's get right to it, y'all. As we said, there was a one LeBron fan, and I'm so envious because I wanted to be that one LeBron fan to go up against 10 LeBron haters. Oh, this was epic. I like this. I like this. Again, shout out to everybody in the comments. I see y'all. So basically, they came up with 5 points, right? They came up with 5 points. Nah, the Lakers don't play today. There's no game. There's only 3 games on tonight. There's the Philadelphia versus Charlotte. There's the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Bucks. And there's the Miami Heat versus OKC. There's some good games if you want. The Miami Heat game, like I said, is at halftime, 50-47. So tune into my Miami Heat, man. Tyler Hero, man. Y'all go vote for Tyler Hero, too, to be the all-star of this year, all-star starter, man. We got to do that. We got to support the Miami Heat around here. But either way, we're here to have some fun, ladies and gentlemen. We're here to have some fun because I wanted to talk about this. I got a chance to watch the actual whole thing. It's about an hour long on House of Highlights. And again, they're doing it. It's basically called a fan versus a hater. And like I said, there was one particular thing I didn't like. I didn't like how the guy didn't just go in on all of them and just annihilate them. But it's, the way they highlighted it, the way the trailer seemed like it seemed like they gave the LeBron guy the victor. But let's go ahead and let's go ahead and check out the first clip I got about it. So they got 5 different things that they wanted to make claims, and that was going to be the discussion. And they were bringing people up to actually debate the LeBron fan and make their case. So let's bring up the first actual claim for this actual one LeBron fan versus 10 haters, which is fan versus a haters on House of Highlights.
First topic, no one will break LeBron James' scoring record.
Somebody is going to break LeBron's all-time scoring record. You think that just because he's doing it now, nobody's going to come after him and break him. That's what we thought about Kareem. And then guess what? Somebody broke it. Every single year, the NBA is becoming more efficient. It's getting easier for teams to score. Teams are getting smarter. All players are coming up and are learning 3 is more than 2. And so the way that people are learning how to play basketball is inherently more efficient. So people are going to come through. There's some middle schooler right now that's taking 30-footers who's going to show up, and he's going to break LeBron's scoring record. You don't think it's going to happen, but it probably will.
Yeah.
So that was the LeBron haters' take on the idea of will anybody break LeBron's record, all right? Obviously, we know LeBron James got over 40,000 points. It's at 41,000 plus now. And the idea that somebody's going to actually catch him is something that Zesty Jeffries think is just going to happen. Like, right, it's just going to happen. And this is where I got to give, the LeBron fan, I think his name was Isaac again. I got to give him some props because this was his response, and he was very, very astute with his words, and he knew exactly what he wanted to say, and he was able to articulate himself very well. So he did defend the LeBron fan base very well, and he also did defend LeBron's legacy very well. So let's listen to Isaac's response to what the guy was saying about how eventually somebody is going to pass LeBron James 41,000 points.
Again, if the argument is for the entirety of space and time, something is more likely to happen than never, sure, that's not really refutable. But if we're being practical and we're talking about what you can actually envision based on something you see and you predict, there's no real reason to think that other than hope. We can say that, 3 is more than 2 and the game has made this much of a change in the last 20 years. Maybe it'll make that same change 20 more years. It's not really linear. There's only so much pushing of the envelope you can do. And while we've seen that huge envelope push happen in our time, that's not a guarantee that we're going to see another one. There's only so much space on the court, so much more math you can exploit. So I think maybe we're close to peak efficiency. If we're not and it keeps going up, fine. But you still have to reckon with the fact that somebody has to come in the league, be amazing right away, and be amazing for like 25 years without ever missing a full season of injury. The closest one is like Kevin Durant. He's missed several full seasons with injury because it's honestly, he's hilariously lucky to never have torn an ACL in 25 years.
So he gave a brilliant take, and it's true what he's saying. Like, if the probability is, eventually it's going to be broken, well, yeah, eventually, but we don't know that. Like, what's the real probability of somebody actually breaking that record, right? And just to think that there's some high school kid or some middle school kid that's out here just ready to break LeBron's record, again, you have to be great for 20 years straight. Even Kareem wasn't a great scorer for 20 years. I believe Kareem's last 2 years, he averaged under 20 points, and I believe his last year, he averaged under 15. So he was not a great scorer for 20 years. LeBron James was a great scorer for 20 years. So you have to be a great scorer for 20 years. Like, there's no saying that Wemby's going to play 20 years. There's no saying Luka's going to play 20 years. No matter how great of a scorer these guys will be, they have to be able to do it for 20 years. And as Isaac explained, also avoid the injury bug to where you don't miss an entire season, right? Like he mentioned to Kevin Durant in his thing, saying how Kevin Durant would be the closest, but he's been injured. And he's had injured seasons. So you would have to expect not only someone to be great at scoring for 20 years, for great at scoring, but be great at it for 20 years, and then on top of that, not get injured. So, again, he did a good job because they let him go up against multiple people against different topics, and that was obviously his best take in explaining how it is not going to be easy for somebody to reach 40,000 points, let alone surpass LeBron whenever LeBron decides to retire, which looks like LeBron's going to make it about 42,000 points plus. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be damn near impossible in our lifetime to see. Like he said, yeah, is it the obvious, well, one day somebody will break it? But no, we don't know this. We don't know this. Again, you zesty Jeffries love to talk. Your averages is based on what you accumulated. Without your accumulation, you have no averages. That's the facts. And like I said, you still have to average 25 plus for 20 years straight. Kevin Durant's the next best player to do that, and he's only done that for 15 years. So you can't sit here and just say, hey, any player is going to come up and do the same thing that these guys are doing and be able to do it for 20 years plus. The next player has to average over 25 for 20 years plus to surpass LeBron James. Again, you can't come into the NBA like LeBron James did at 18 straight out of high school. You have to wait 1 year. So you automatically got to wait a year. Then you have to play from your 19 years of age or your 18, depending on when you graduate high school, to play another 20 years. You have to play till you're 40. And through all of that, you have to be able to score 25 points per game plus while playing 70 games per season plus, which is what the GOAT did. These are all facts, ladies and gentlemen. These are all facts. You can deter from the reality of LeBron James's brilliance in scoring, but the fact of the matter is 41,000 points, ladies and gentlemen. But that was his take there. Then this is where he really got the flame. There was one dude that really was bringing it, and he was not playing with the LeBron fan. He brought everything to the table, and he was accurate with the way he wanted to describe how he felt Michael Jordan was the GOAT. So this was the next question that they had. Again, now the first question was, will anybody surpass LeBron as the all-time scoring leader in NBA history? We all heard what both of those gentlemen had to say about that. But this is a new topic. Let's bring up the second topic of this one LeBron fan versus 10 LeBron haters.
If LeBron came before MJ, there wouldn't be an argument about who is better. Mr. Deshaun.
He raised his
please
hand fast.
Step forward.
That was instant.
We could say this very simply. This is a great question, by the way. We've already seen Jordan surpass the GOAT before him, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem, since high school, was ready to be the greatest player, just like we saw LeBron James. Kareem in his career, 6 NBA finals, right, where he won, okay? And he had made 10 appearances just like LeBron, except he happened to win more than LeBron did. Kareem, the all-time scoring leader, just like LeBron. Correct. He also is top 10 in rebounds and might be up there in block shots as well. So we've already seen an all-around player with an unstoppable move and the persona bravado as I'm the greatest. And what did Jordan do? Surpassed him, right? He went 6-0. That's 100% in the finals. He also has the MVPs to match up with him and 6 finals MVP, which is something that Kareem did not do. So we have already seen this iteration of Jordan following up someone who is deemed as the greatest. So if you reverse the roles, there's still no debate. Jordan tops LeBron every time.
That man brought the fire. I'm not going to lie. He brought the fire with that one. And I didn't like the response from the LeBron fan. Okay? I did not like the response from the LeBron fan because he did not respond well. Right? There's some other ones like J Mar here. Shout out to you. Another GOAT James Kingdom member. Yeah, man. He dropped the ball on the clutch topic as well. We're going to get to the clutch topic. But the guy brought up how Kareem had all of this legacy before Jordan, and Jordan was still able to, quote unquote, surpass him, which I don't know where Jordan surpassed. Remember, through all of this, these guys never describe why Jordan's the GOAT. And when they do, we all know what that's going to consist of. Very minimal, very small, very, very absolutely not enough, right? So we're going to have all of this, right, with this man saying how Kareem was this, that, and the third, and then Jordan supposedly surpassed him. So LeBron obviously would have been surpassed because LeBron is Kareem. He basically said LeBron and Kareem are identical. There is no difference. They're the same player, which is completely false. Like, that's like completely false. Again, a part of Michael Jordan's allure and his legacy is his athleticism, his ability to be a guard, and his freak of nature when we talk about his athleticism. And that would have been LeBron. We would have never seen nothing like LeBron. LeBron would have been the Magic with athleticism. So at that time, everybody thought Magic was the best player on the basketball court. It was basically between Magic and Bird when Jordan entered the league. So when Jordan entered the league, it wasn't really saying Jordan was the best basketball player. Jordan was just the most incredible basketball player we ever seen, because Jordan was doing things nobody ever seen. Jordan was jumping from heights that nobody ever thought somebody can do. That would have been LeBron James, but with the skill of a Larry Bird and a Magic Johnson. So Jordan's legacy would have been, Jordan would have had to actually physically do something, unlike what he did going up against Kareem, because Kareem was a big man. It was just the sky hook. It was just the big man sky hook. That's all it was. It was a big man's game. Jordan changed the idea of what basketball players can be. You can be small. You can be a guard. And he obviously changed his own position as far as shooting guards go. That would have still been the thing with Jordan, because he would have changed shooting guards, but LeBron would have changed everything. But Jordan's allure and legacy was him being the high flyer, Air Jordans. So all of that would have never existed with LeBron James in there. And that's what basically Isaac was trying to say, because he was saying that you can't basically make this a Kareem and LeBron situation, because at the end of the day, LeBron and Kareem are not the same. So LeBron's better than Kareem. So you can't use Kareem. You can't say Jordan surpassed Kareem, so he would have passed LeBron. No, LeBron's already better than Kareem. So Jordan would have had to surpass LeBron anyways. But that's just the facts when we talk about that. When we think about it, at the end of the day, Jordan never really passed Kareem. He never passed Kareem. Exactly. When did Michael Jordan surpass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? He never really did that. So the question is, it isn't, oh, well, if LeBron came before Jordan, will there ever be a GOAT debate? That's facts. If LeBron showed up before Jordan, there is no GOAT debate. Jordan would just be Jordan. Jordan would be with Iverson and Kobe and them. Wouldn't be in the GOAT conversation. Jordan's GOAT legacy was predicated on him changing the game and popularizing the game, because again, Jordan became the GOAT without all the things that they say Jordan's the GOAT now. The 5 MVPs, Jordan was considered the GOAT before 5 MVPs. He was considered the GOAT before 6 finals MVPs. He was considered the GOAT before 6 NBA championships. He was considered the GOAT before 10 scoring titles. All of these things that y'all like to use now, which is an afterthought, was not why Jordan was considered the GOAT. So that's why LeBron would have been the GOAT well before Jordan would have ever stepped into the scene. And that's just the fact, because LeBron James is a basketball player. Jordan's just a superstar. That's two separate things, my friend. Those are not equal yokes. LeBron is well above Michael Jordan. And if he would have showed up in the league well before Jordan, it wouldn't have been no conversation at all. It would have been over with. Over with. Tell him again, Ishmael, that's true. 6-0 is not better than 6-4. So he never surpassed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And the guy made up a bunch of lies about how Jordan had the same amount of MVPs as Kareem. False. Kareem has more. He brought up the finals MVPs. That's fine. Jordan got finals MVPs, but finals MVPs is not better. Like, finals MVPs don't change nothing. Because Kareem has all the other accolades and stats over Jordan. He has more All-NBAs, more All-Defensive selections, more All-Stars, and did it all well before Jordan. It wasn't like he got the All-NBA selections after Jordan got to his. No, he did all that stuff before 15 years. He was ahead of Jordan well before that. So don't use longevity. Longevity got nothing to do with that. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar surpassed Jordan in every aspect. Jordan never surpassed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He was given the title. That's all that guy proved in that little conversation he had with the LeBron fan, was that they gave Jordan the GOAT title when he really wasn't supposed to be the GOAT. It was Kareem's. He basically just said, hey, we stole it from Kareem. Why the hell we wouldn't steal it from LeBron? That's basically what he just said. That is basically what he just said, right? So let's go on to the next topic, because well, no, actually not the next topic. This one here is good, because this is the dude from one of the House of Highlights, and I always watch their videos. This is his response to talking about why Jordan would have been a GOAT before, or why it didn't matter if LeBron came before Jordan, that Jordan would have still been the GOAT, because he talks about winning. It's all about winning. So let's go ahead, and this is where. Because this is how you know you cooking a Zesty Jeffrey. When the conversation switches from either whatever y'all were talking about to the failure conversation, right? And then from the failure conversation, if that don't work, they're going to go straight to winning. Winning is their last straw. So if we get to the second topic and these guys are already pulling out the winning conversation and the winning bullet, that means this guy has been doing a good job. They were not prepared for him. He had a lot of great takes. Again, he just didn't attack him like I wanted him to attack him. But let's let them continue with this conversation as we let the 10 LeBron haters go up against this one LeBron fan.
It's very impressive, not to take it away. Yeah. But if three-peats were just the measure, then you would have Bill Russell at 2. I don't believe you have Bill Russell at 2.
No, because there's obviously a lot more to consider.
Exactly.
For sure, right?
A whole
but when
lot.
it comes down to it, right? When you're looking at Jordan and LeBron, and they're like kind of neck and neck in pretty much every category except winning, which is what the ultimate goal of an NBA player is, to win. And if you and I'm looking at two guys, one who's won more than the other, with pretty much the same stats. And yeah, LeBron's playing 22 years. Michael Jordan played 14 or 15. There's like going to be some discrepancies there. But the fact of the matter is that he played 6 years less and has more accolades, relatively the same amount of stats. I just think if we're going to look at two players who are so close, which is why we're having this debate, why not let it come down to, at the end of the day, who was holding the trophy at the end of the season? Michael Jordan did it 6 times in 6 tries.
Yeah.
You said it. You said it, Takeable Pod. More lies. Just a bunch of lies. There is no same stats where. They're not. Jordan fans like to make it seem like everything is equal in the stats. Everything is equal in the accolades. So we just got to go by just championships. And when we do that, Jordan is just a little bit better. Get the fuck out of here. LeBron dominates in stats over Jordan. It's not close. It's not nowhere near close. They think because Jordan averaged 30 points per game, that means it trumps anything else. Jordan, it doesn't have all the averages. So it's like, how is Jordan statistically better than LeBron? And then accolades-wise, we already know LeBron James has the most NBA trophies and the most NBA accolades in NBA history. We already know this. No matter how y'all want to get mad and say things don't count or what should count, you don't get to dictate that. The NBA tells you these are the awards and accolades we recognize and we give out. You have to recognize that. Even if we go to seasonal awards and stuff like that, LeBron James has more than Michael Jordan. Jordan has less. Everything Jordan does is less. He's less in everything. He's less. It's less. Because Jordan is not the GOAT of in any particular category. We keep telling y'all this. So there is no equilibrium when we're talking about statistically. It's none. Jordan is inferior to LeBron statistically in averages and in totals. It doesn't matter. In the playoffs and in the regular season. It don't matter. Statistically, LeBron James is greater than Jordan, which is why y'all don't like stats. Y'all don't like to say, that's why y'all say stats don't tell you the truth or don't tell you the whole story. What y'all do is lie. So then you want to bring up accolades. Then you want to discredit accolades that you don't even know exist. You're going to be upset. LeBron James has the most NBA accolades in NBA history. Go look up their bio. The NBA tells you what their awards and accolades are. And Jordan does not have enough. He doesn't even have what LeBron has. Nowhere near it. So it's not that close. And Jordan's 2 championships doesn't trump everything. The same way Bill Russell's 5 championships don't trump everything. He just started off by saying it's not just about just the winning after he realized that, yeah, Bill Russell and there's guys that have more championships than Jordan. So that means it's way much more than winning. You guys act like the NBA started in 1984. And oh, that's why they so lucky, man. They are so lucky, man. I wanted this 20v1, bruh. I really did, man. I want a 20v1. I want me versus 20 Zesty Jeffries in that same way. Line them up. Do them like the Rakim rhyme. Give me 7 Zesty Jeffries at one time. I take another 7 Zesty Jeffries and put them in line. By the time we get to another 7 Zesty Jeffries, that'll be 21 Zesty Jeffries eaten up at one time. If I'm saying the rhyme right. I want them all. I want the smoke. What up, Twain, man? Shout out to you, man. I want the smoke. I want the smoke with all you Zesty Jeffries. All of them. I already call you out. I don't have to say your names. Some of y'all already know who y'all are. The whole GJK City Girl groupie posse could get it. Bring them all up. There's like 10 of them. Just line them up. Any platform, any place. I will be there. Go get me 20 Zesty Jeffries. Line them up. Put them up against me. I will destroy them left and right. I can't wait for this opportunity. That's right, the 18th letter. I want the smoke. Dart calling me out. Dart's not calling no one out. Dart knows what happened. Y'all don't want me to start with those guys over there. They don't want it. I asked Dart for a 20v1. I got him specifically saying, I wouldn't ask those guys if they were interested. They all said, no. Of course they said no. They don't want the smoke. Even on their own platform. Even on their own platform. They don't want the smoke. This is why I got a Friday night show. Because this is where I get a chance to speak. And anybody who wants to hear me, get a chance to hear me. So y'all hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Because like I said, I do want that 20v1. I want it. And I want Zesty Jeffries to line themselves up and tell me when and where. I'll be there. Like Jackson 5. I'll be there. I'll be there. Trust me when I tell you that. Shout out to you, Anthony Davis. Peace, brother. I'll be there. I'll be there. Trust me when I tell you that. I'll be there. No one-on-one because you're a liar, Dart. You're a liar. You see me debating. You were supposed to be the debate broker. I broker deals, make debates happen. You bother people all the time about debating. You know where to find me at right here on a Friday night. You know where to find me at on a Sunday afternoon. And I told you what hours I am available. And people who've been asking me to come on their program, you see me being on their program, and I've given them the hour and times that I can be on their program. But 2024 ain't your year. Let's try 2025. You can keep ducking the smoke, but I keep telling you, your whole crew gets smoked by me. Every last one of them. I want all of you. I don't want you. You're not worth my time. I want you and the whole posse. Go get Scap Attack, right? Go get Unsmart Hoops. Go get Mr. Hungry Man, right? Go get Young Miami, okay? Go get, what's the other people that you got over there? Go get NMB, right? Shout out to NMB Sports, right? Shout out to you. Go get NMB, right? Oh, definitely bring Zesty Fitness and Rants. You know Zesty Fitness and Rants got to be in this. Definitely bring Zesty Fitness and Rants. Bring all of the Zesty Jeffries you know, Dart. since you broker deals, and let's set up this 20v1. Trust me, nobody want to see me smoke you. You are very easy. You are nothing to be dealt with. This is like, you're like plaything. I just do it to give you some views on your channel. But you already know you don't want this smoke. Ain't no 20, I want a 20v1. That's what I want. I want 20 zesty Jeffries. Line them up. Bring them up. Set it up. Time, place, I'll be there. I'll be right there. No, shout out to Scap Attack. You know, I used to call him Scab Attack, but now I call him Scap Attack. Shout out to Scap Attack. He showed up, and he definitely gave us a great program. So shout out to him. Thank you for joining me on a Friday night exposure with the Exposure. That man was chilling, and he was passionate, and I let him speak. We had a great conversation. That's last week's show, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I want the 20v1. I want the smoke. I want the smoke, man. I'm him. I keep telling you, I'm him. I'm not the one, but I am the one. That's the facts. I'm not the one, but I am the one. If that don't make sense, nothing makes sense. If that don't make sense, nothing makes sense. Yeah, shout out to Scap Attack, man. That was actually a great program. No, they don't want the smoke. They don't want the smoke because I'm the one. Like I said, I want the 20v1. But let's get back to tonight's program, ladies and gentlemen. I got a little bit derailed. I'm having a lot of fun with y'all tonight. Y'all know what to do, man. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. So let's move on to the next topic because we already went to two topics, right? We got the all-time scoring record, and we got the idea if LeBron appeared before Jordan, would there even be a GOAT debate in general? But we know the GOAT debate is, we told y'all, it's been fueled by Nike for years. ESPN has ran with it. Now TNT is trying to save their legacy with it, right? Because now Charles Barkley has GOAT conversations and GOAT takes. But let's bring up this idea about clutch. Because they want, this is another one where, like J Mar said, this man just dropped the ball about clutch, and they actually gave him, like they gave it to him on a platter to just annihilate these zesty Jeffries. But instead, he was being kind and gentle and playing with them. You know what I'm saying? Like I do with Dart when Dart wants to step up on the mic.
Okay, this next topic is controversial. LeBron James is one of the clutchest players of all time.
The last shot or the ones that happened before? I placed a value on a shot that got them to win. Talk to me.
Again, similar to last time we argued, that would be real great if we stopped thinking about basketball 15 years ago. How do you get to the last shot? How do you keep these games competitive? Everything leads up to it. And real quick, did that question say one of the most clutch players or one of the most clutch last shot shooters?
I would say this is about being clutch at the end. That's how clutch is mostly defined. No one's really talking about it before in the first, second, and third quarter.
Oh, I'm not talking about it.
There is a clutch time stat, too. I think it's the final 5 minutes of the fourth quarter.
Let's define it by that then.
Okay, yeah, the clutch player.
Could you give me a buzzer beater or a clutch shot that he has hit?
Again, the fact that we're saying clutch shots, like we have to have one single shot, isn't what clutch actually is. I can give you plenty of games in which he came up clutch in an elimination game, in which he had fourth quarter performances and went crazy. Obviously, Game 6 versus Boston is the one everyone talks about, where he came out and simply destroyed them. Obviously, 2016 Game 7 finals, defensively and offensively, two-way performance. Trying to narrow it down to one shot in the last 10 seconds is just pushing it into a direction that isn't actually, showing what clutch is in basketball.
See? Now, he just tried to attack their logic instead of just giving them the answers that they were asking for. When the guy said, yeah, the NBA has clutch stats, they even defined that. How, as a LeBron fan, you don't know LeBron James is the best player in clutch moments in NBA history? How you don't know this? Like, how you don't know that in clutch stats that are recorded by the NBA, LeBron James has hit the most jumpers. He has the most field goal attempts and the most field goal made in those situations. He has the most points in those situations. He shoots very well in those situations. Like, there's so many things he could have brought up about LeBron James being clutch, and they gave it to him. He just didn't do it. How, you, as a LeBron fan, have you not gone to go look at NBA clutch stats? How have you not done that? Then when the chick asked him, oh, show me a buzzer beater. LeBron has 5 in the playoffs. Most in NBA history. He didn't even bring that into the conversation. She didn't even know that. Again, these zesty Jeffries ask questions they don't even know the answers to. So she asked, give me one. Just give me one. I would have gave her 5 in the playoffs. I would have gave her 5 in the playoffs. Those are the things that I was like, yo, why he didn't attack that? Like, he could have just annihilated them. Now, mind you, a lot of this stuff is edited, so we don't know what he said in general, but he did respond to the idea that you're picking and choosing when it's considered clutch. And even she brought it up, she's like, only a LeBron James do we have to redefine what clutch is, blah, 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 blah. And that's when he gave her the famous line, well, I picked a line, you picked a line. Like, there's no difference. What makes your line better than my line? You picked 24 seconds. I can pick the last 5 minutes or the last minute of a game. He did bring up some good moments. He brought up the Boston Celtics game 6 in 2012. He brought up the 2016 series versus the Warriors. He mentioned those things. There's a lot of things you could mention about LeBron James. Like him being the guy who averages the most points in an elimination game, if we're talking about 10 elimination games minimum, right? He averages the most points in those situations. He's second in game 7s, points per game, right behind Kevin Durant by a minimum of 3 games, if you have 3 games played. So LeBron James is an elite clutch player. Not to mention all the stuff that he's done, like I said, with the buzzer beaters, the last second shots. And then he also brought up the idea that what makes you clutch is that there's also other aspects, because they were talking about you're not clutch if you pass the ball in the last second of a shot. And he brought up that is being clutch. Setting up the player, setting up the right play, making the right pass, making the right play is also being clutch. That's a part of it, making the right block. Even the host from House of Highlights admitted that a block shot is a clutch play. So LeBron James is way more clutch than people want to give him credit for, because they want to bring up that the last 24 seconds of a finals game, he was 0 for 7. Like, that's what they got to do. They got to find the most littlest things. And that's why, for me, it makes it easy, because if you got those little things that you're going to bring up, I just got something that's going to reverse it. It's very easy. You make it easy for me. That's why I want the 20v1, because there's not a Zesty Jeffrey out here that I fear. Not one of them. There's not one. All I need is a mic and time. You give me mic and time, it's a wrap for y'all. All I need is one mic, like Nas say. It's a wrap for y'all. Only thing y'all can do is overtalk me and try to keep me from saying things, or say things that I didn't even say and try to argue that. Because I don't even go through that no more. If I hear you try to argue some shit that I didn't even say, I'm gonna pull your coat card and say, the hell you said? I didn't even say that shit. And we've all witnessed it. Y'all know I got footage for days of Zesty Jeffrey saying that I said this and it's recorded and I never said that. So that's why I want the 20v1. I want that 20v1, man. I really do. And I got some people calling me and setting it up. We gonna make it happen. We gonna make it happen, because we got some real debate brokers out here. Not no fake debate brokers. We got real debate brokers out here. Not this little rinky-dink stuff that y'all see on other channels just for content creation, because they don't got nothing better to do. They can't talk hoops, so they think debating is gonna create traffic for them. No. You got to talk basketball now, my friend. The people that are talking basketball are the people that are the ones that are having the greatest content out here. Guys like Chilltown and the guys at the Player's Choice, they get people because they talk the game of basketball. They're not sitting here just looking for ways to hate on people. Even when people say, oh, GOAT James Kingdom, you guys don't got a lot of people. That's fine, because at the end of the day, we talk the GOAT conversation. We are very, very, very strict in our content creating. We know exactly what we're here to do. We're here to destroy Zesty Jeffrey lives. We're here to tear down your childhood memories and dreams of Michael Jordan. That's what Brandon and I do best. But this is perfect right here. This one LeBron versus 10 LeBron haters was a great idea, because I've been wanting this. I called them out. I've been told you I wanted the 20v1 versus Zesty Jeffries, and I'll take them all in any platform, anywhere. See, look, you out here asking me questions about people I don't know. You're a broker. I don't do that. You know where you want to find Travis? You know where to find Travis, on a Sunday afternoon right here on Go James Kingdom. That's where you find Travis at. Represent Michael Jordan better than anybody on your channel. I tell you that much. That's a fact. So let's get back to tonight's topic, ladies and gentlemen, as we're doing this. Again, the guy just dropped the ball. He just dropped the ball on the clutch conversation. LeBron James is the most clutch player in NBA history by recorded data. All right? He's hit the most buzzer beaters in playoff history. He showed up in clutch moments like elimination games and game 7s, which are also clutch moments. He's had some of the greatest finals performances in NBA history. He's hit clutch free throws. He's hit clutch jumpers. He's made clutch layups. He's made clutch everything. Clutch passes, clutch blocks, steals. Defensively, he's done it all. You don't play the game for 22 years and don't do it all. He's done it all. including create more haters like this to where you can do 1 LeBron fan versus 10 LeBron haters. So let's move on to the next topic because you know we're going to get to the real crux of things. They got to talk about the super team. So let's bring up the idea of LeBron James and if he created super teams. So this was the 4th topic when we were talking about we're doing a reaction video to House of Highlights, who did the 1 LeBron fan versus 10 LeBron haters. That's their new segment called Fan versus Haters. And this was their first episode, and they're going to do more episodes on different topics, obviously. But I'm just envious because I want a 20v1 versus Zesty Jeffries.
Next topic. LeBron James is responsible for the super team.
How is he not? I mean, we just spoke about it before.
Want me to go first?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'd love for you to.
Well, we pretend the Celtics didn't make a super team 2 years before he did. That's one reason. The real reason for the super team is because modern free agency promotes player movement. There's more talent today. You have to compile talent to win. Back in the day, there was obviously less talent, like I said, and the way the rules are made, you didn't often see stars come together like that. In the modern NBA, when it's harder and harder to win, it simply became a necessity. Just because he was on the front lines of that and was the second team to do it in this era doesn't mean he created it. He's not a GM. As most of the people want to say he is. He wasn't the GM of the Miami Heat, I'll tell you that for sure. You think Pat Riley was listening to him calling shots? No. And he wasn't the first, like I said. The Celtics, the Lakers got 2 Hall of Famers at the peak of their prime. Teams had, again, not the peak of their prime, the peak of the Lakers' prime. Those Hall of Famers were washed, obviously. But, you know, it wasn't the first time we've seen lots of star names get put together.
You're talking about general managers making trades to go create teams. Kevin Garnett was traded to the Celtics. I think they just came together naturally.
Oh my God! You heard what he just said. I heard they put that. You know what he said? I heard they were just put together naturally. What's naturally? Something about you NBA fans and how you guys associate yourself with owners and it's like you have more sympathy for owners than anything in sports is hilarious to me. All right. First of all, Kevin Garnett refused to go to Boston because it was just going to be him and Paul Pierce. That was the initial trade. They weren't even trying to do nothing else. They were like, yo, come play with Paul Pierce. He said, hell no, I'm not playing with just Paul Pierce. And was trying to go play with Kobe. And try to get in contact with Kobe. Then Boston pulled the deal off and got Ray Allen and called KG back and said, listen, man, we got Ray Allen as well, man. It'll be you, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce, man. Come to Boston. That's when Kevin Garnett decided to go to Boston. That's not natural. That's KG looking and recruiting, actively recruiting and looking to see who he can go join to win a championship. Like, you guys don't know the history of basketball, and you create these fake narratives and these lies, and that's why you get exposed by me, because to even say that when there's so much history available to you, so much documented history that prove the Boston Celtics was nothing natural. Kevin Garnett left Minnesota for an opportunity to win a championship. He wasn't going to no team just to be a part of a team. Like y'all really think these guys out here don't try to win championships and then get mad that they do their best to win championships? I proved to y'all just on Sunday's show how much Jordan was upset because he thought the Bulls were never building a championship roster for him. That's why he hated Jerry Krause. Because Jerry Krause was not building supposedly a championship team in Michael Jordan's eyes. He was just racking up draft picks. And Jordan didn't think draft picks and players coming out of college was going to help him win NBA championships. So those are the things that Zesty Jeffries bring up in the conversation, and they just lie. And obviously Isaac did a good job explaining how LeBron is definitely not the first or the last to be a part of any super team if we're going to talk about what super teams are. And no one can tell us what a super team is. Only a super team is that if it's LeBron is on it. Because you take LeBron James off the Miami Heat in 2015, are they still a super team? No. All of a sudden, they're not a super team anymore. And the team that couldn't make the playoffs for the last 3 years without LeBron James is all of a sudden a super team because LeBron added himself to it. I mean, I heard the 2022 Lakers is a super team. I heard this 2025 Laker team is a super team. You guys just make shit up all the time and never have no validity for your conversations, man. That's why if I was Isaac, I would have destroyed them. It would have been more epic. They would have got way much more views. Because they would have been like, who is this LeBron fan talking like this? Y'all already know what happens when I get on the mic. Y'all already know what happens when I get on the mic. It's a wrap. So they had to bring up the super teams, and he did a good job, and they couldn't expose the super team narrative as well. So we first started off with whether anybody's going to reach 40,000 points or surpass LeBron James in scoring all time. Then they went to the idea of what would happen if LeBron showed up before Jordan. Will we have a GOAT debate still? And then they brought up the idea of LeBron being clutch or not, and is he a clutch player or not? Then they brought up the super teams, and then they had to bring up the nerve. They had the nerve. House of Highlights, you guys are despicable for this. You guys are just straight up nasty work with this. How are y'all going to try to ask people if there's an asterisk that needs to go into the bubble title? Why would you even insinuate that is necessary to even to discuss? You guys disgust me. I am purely appalled by this nonsense.
Next topic. LeBron's 2020 Lakers championship should have an asterisk.
The Miami Heat in 2020 is the worst finals team of all time. What do you say about that?
I definitely think they were trash compared to most finals teams. So
Definitely trash.
I wouldn't say the worst of
horrible.
all time because there's a lot of years out there, so I wouldn't make that claim. But they weren't particularly strong.
So they had Jimmy Butler, who was what, a top 20 player, I would say, at the time.
No, let's give him credit. He was playing
Come
like
on,
a top 10
20.
player.
He can't really score. I mean, he scored in the playoffs. He could defend a little bit. He can't really do anything much. Bam Adebayo, okay, he's a top 10 center, and out of that, was Tyler Hero even playing too?
He was. That was like his strongest stretch of his career.
A top 100 player. Okay, so you have Anthony Davis, who's a top 10 player at the time. LeBron James, who was I'll say a top 5 player at the time, or you could say 1, 2, whatever.
Yeah, he was definitely top 5. Yeah.
Versing a top 20 player, a top 100 player, and a top 50 player. Yeah. So that was that championship should not count at all.
So because the competition's weak, it shouldn't count?
Definitely.
I don't think this is a door you want to open.
Jordan had a verse.
I'll say that.
John Stockton, the top 5 point guard of all time. Karl Malone, the top 5 power forward of all time. He had a verse. Gary Payton, probably one of the best guard defenders ever. Sean Kemp.
Who didn't guard Jordan?
He had a verse. These really good teams.
Yo, I'm telling you, man. Again, they do that. And I saw somebody here asking me some silly question about me debating Crunch. Crunch does this, where you guys use illegitimate ranking systems to talk about players. Who are you to say where Bam is ranked or where Jimmy Butler's ranked or where AD is ranked and all this other stuff? Then that becomes a whole new argument that has nothing to do with the original topic. You guys love to ask people their opinion, then want to argue people with their opinions instead of let's just talk the facts, right? So, that's just the silliest narrative ever. Like, as if the 2000 Pacers was a great team. Now, I'll even go as far as saying the Allen Iverson Philadelphia 76ers team was a weak team. That was weak competition. I mean, do you know about the Houston Rockets that played in the NBA Finals in 1981? Do you know any of the 70? Who was in the NBA Finals in 1977, Mr. Potato Head? You don't even know who was in the NBA Finals in 1977. Who won the NBA Finals in 1975? How are you going to sit here and say that the Miami Heat of 2020 was the worst finals competition of all time? So does that mean the Joker's championship shouldn't count neither? Should we have an asterisk to them? Because he played the same fucking Heat team. So now Joker's championship don't matter? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is why they would get destroyed by me, man. They would get destroyed by me. Isaac just didn't handle his business, man. He has to let these people go home and like just thinking about what they got to do the next time, what they could have did better. I'm telling you, I keep Zesty Jeffries up at night. And I'm their worst nightmare. Because they can't talk the game of basketball. The man literally, listen, he said that Jimmy Butler was somewhere in the top 20 in the NBA at that time, not all time. He didn't mention all time. But he didn't mention where John Stockton was at that time when John Stockton was playing in 97 or 98 versus the Chicago Bulls. He mentioned how great he was in an all-time spectrum. Right? So it's like that's how they try to have a conversation. I'm not even going to entertain whether or not Jimmy Butler's better than John Stockton. That has nothing to do with it. Jimmy Butler is a great player, and he's actually a borderline Hall of Famer when we really think about it. With his All-NBA and all defensive selections, All-Star selections, his resume is kind of up there. He just has to finish it out, especially if he reaches over 20,000 points for his career. He's probably going to be considered for a Hall of Fame. Not first ballot. It might take some years. But we still, again, that's not the argument. For you to say that the 2020 championship don't count because of competition. Oh, come on. And that's what he told him. You don't want to go that route. You don't want to go to competition. What competition? The 1994 Knicks was really a finals competition. Tell me what was the average score for the best player outside of Patrick Ewing in 1994 for the Knicks. Like, you guys sit here and bring up stuff and don't have no validity. What about the 1999 Knicks? Even one of them brought up how LeBron won 2 championships in shortened seasons, and the bubble season was one of them. It's LeBron's fault that the season was shortened? When Jordan played only 17 games, that's your excuse, that he was rusty. So when the players get a shortened season and they got to come off of, like in 2012, where they didn't start the season off in normal time around November and October, they started the season late. There's no rustiness there for LeBron. Or how about taking off 3-4 months between the bubble and going to go play in some confined space? People talking about, oh, this is the resort and all that. No, these are athletes, man. These are athletes. Then it was like, oh, you think LeBron didn't have his own special suite? Like, y'all just some funny dudes, bro. Y'all just be wanting people to imagine things with y'all, and because it sounds, I guess, believable, that we must all accept that it's believable at least. That's why I say y'all need to just write fairy tale novels for children, man. Y'all look good at that shit. But in all, it was an actual good thing. It was a good show. I liked it. It was fun. I can't wait to see what they do more of. But I think the Zesty Jeffries walked away batting their chest a little bit, which we know they still do no matter what happens, even when they take a L. But, you know, Isaac should have did his job better, man. But shout out to Isaac, man. He definitely represented LeBron James to the fullest. So I know y'all got a lot of questions. Y'all got a lot of things y'all want to ask me. And I don't read your comments too well because I don't got time to read the comments. There's a lot of people watching us here. We got over 600 people watching the live right now. Shout out to everybody who's watching us on the FYF Sports Debate platform. Shout out to Lamont. That allows us to have the opportunity to be on his platform as well. So shout out to everybody who subscribed to his channel. Y'all make sure to hit those like buttons. Subscribe to both the GOAT James Kingdom platform and FYF Sports Debate. Also check out the membership in the GOAT James Kingdom platform. We take care of our members. We have a great time doing that. And like I said, I'm about to put the link up for y'all. You can join me and have some fun. And let's see what y'all, let's see what y'all can bring up. Let's see what y'all got to conversate and what y'all got to bring up. So while I do that, let me see what's going on here. Let me see here. Shout out to you, Aaron. Shout out to you, man. I see y'all in the comments. I see y'all. Let me respond right quick. Yeah, we about to have some fun tonight. We about to have some fun. But I still want that 20v1, y'all. So if y'all know anybody who can set that up, shout out to Martell at Miami Heat Zone, because he told me he was going to try to set that up. He wants to see if they can get any Zesty Jeffries that want to come challenge me. So again, ladies and gentlemen, I did put the link up for those who want to join me. Come join the Exposer. Let's have a great Friday night conversation. As again, we were talking about the LeBron James fan versus 10 LeBron James haters. And as you can see, that was actually a great time. Let's get up. We're here with another great guest here. Let's go here. We got King Speech Road. Thank you for joining me on a Friday night, man. What you got for me for tonight's topic?
What's going on, man? I'm coming with the smoke now.
You coming with the
smoke? Smoke. Yeah, coming with a little smoke.
Okay, I'm listening. What you got for me?
My first question is how do you get around the fact that LeBron was the loser of the 2 least competitive finals in NBA history?
I don't know what that means, competitive. What do you mean competitive finals?
Point differential in the finals, the 2 least competitive, the 2 biggest blowouts in the finals, LeBron James lost those. That would be the 2015 finals versus Golden State, and the 2014, the year before, the 2014. No, I'm sorry. No, 2015 versus Golden State was not. It was 2017 versus 2018, the sweep versus the Warriors the second time. And 2014, the gentleman's sweep by the San Antonio Spurs when Tim Duncan was 38 years old.
Okay, so the one with the Spurs is the largest deficit overall during the finals. in NBA history. So that's 2014 is that one. Are you saying 2017 or 2018?
No, 2018. 2018.
So both of the times LeBron James got swept. So you're talking about the time he faced the Kevin Durant Warriors. So that's supposed to mean what? That he's not the GOAT because of that?
I'm just saying. I mean, we were just talking about finals and least and finals competition and uncompetitive. I'm not even getting into the 2007 because I generally give LeBron a pass for that, being he was 22 years old. By the same token, Kobe had 3 rings by the time he was 23. So you got to kind of, put those two together.
Okay, Kobe had Shaq, an MVP, an all-NBA player, all-defensive player for all the championships he won the first 3 years. LeBron James made the finals in 2014 without an all-NBA teammate, and he made the finals in 2018 without an all-NBA teammate or an all-defensive teammate on his
But that's
roster.
a little wild. We all know that Wade was a little injured. Bosh was an all-star, so was Wade. They were all-stars every year.
I said all-NBA. I didn't say all-star.
Yeah, but
I didn't say all-star.
everybody can't make the all-NBA every year, especially when you play. What did Wade play? How many games did Wade play that year?
Like 50-something?
Okay, that's probably why he didn't make the All-NBA, because generally, before the rule, the media would penalize you for being injured.
False. That's false. Scottie Pippen made All-NBA first team in 1998, and he only played 46 games.
Did he make the first team? I don't think he made the first team.
Not the first team, but he made all defensive first team.
He made all the defensive first team off of reputation. Yes. So I said generally.
No, not off reputation. He did it because that's what he was. He was one of the best defenders still in 1998. He was one of the best players still in 1998, and that's the problem. Dwayne Wade wasn't one of the best players in 2014. That's the problem.
But they got there, and they got wait, because you can't get around the fact that the San Antonio Spurs were old and past their prime. Kawhi Leonard was 22 and before his prime.
They still had an all NBA player and an all defensive player on their roster. They had Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, Tim Duncan was an all defensive player at 38. So why can't LeBron James make an all NBA team in his 30s?
Because in 2014, that was the last year that they let the coaches vote for it.
The last year, and so the media doesn't like LeBron. That's what you're trying to tell me.
For the all defensive selections, the media thinks LeBron doesn't play defense, although LeBron James has been one of the best
because
defenders.
we see too much film of him standing around. But
no, you don't see that film. You don't see that film. Hold on, you don't see that film of him standing around. You don't watch basketball. You don't know basketball. The man didn't make an all defensive team over Paul Millsap. Do you think Paul Millsap plays better defense than LeBron James in 2017?
Possibly not individually, but
okay, then so that means LeBron James was slighted for the all-defensive selected team by the media based off of your biases, because you are Zesty Jeffries who can't see basketball. You can't see greatness. You can't see how LeBron James plays defense. You don't notice how great he plays defense because you don't know basketball.
Let me explain this to you. Michael Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron all kind of took off defense a little bit in their 30s. I can admit that. What LeBron does is at a different level. Let's go back to the first year of LeBron and the Lakers. Do you remember when Kyle Kuzma pushed him into the closeout? LeBron James has
you asked me a question, let me answer. When Kyle Kuzma pushed LeBron James, he pushed LeBron James to go test a guy that was going to brick. LeBron James did not have to go running after a guy that LeBron James feel is about to brick, and the guy did brick the shot. So Kyle Kuzma was not doing nothing. Kyle Kuzma is not smart defensively. For you to sit here and bring up Kyle Kuzma as somebody who should be talked about defensively shows how much you don't know basketball. You sit here and think Kyle Kuzma knows what somebody should be doing on defense. That's hilarious.
The media knows that LeBron
The media's a hater, just like you. The media doesn't know nothing. The same media that tells us every day the NBA sucks. The same media that doesn't know how to appreciate the game of basketball. The same media that never watched 90s basketball. The same media that is not what we need to hear from. They're horrible. They've not done a good job explaining the game.
That same media is pumping millions and millions into the game of basketball, which allows them for their salary.
What millions? Oh, wait. What millions and millions of dollars?
ESPN?
They pay for the rights to show the game. You get paid for privilege, my friend. That's what they get. They pay for privilege, my friend.
So why would that same media then devalue what it's paying for
That's
for
a
the right
great question. That's the best question you asked tonight. That's
a
great
question.
That's a great question you asked tonight because again, we could never understand what Zesty Jeffrey logic eventually results to. What is the purpose? What is the purpose? What is the purpose? Wait, no, I gotta answer I gotta answer the question. You got to shut the fuck up. What is the purpose of destroying the product that you spend billions of dollars to purchase and have on your team just to stay face for a product you no longer could sell? There is no 90s games that they show on ESPN. There are no 90s games that they show on TNT. Why are you discrediting the product that you show today for a product you can't even actually show?
Can I answer?
Go.
Can I answer?
I ask questions to hear an answer, not to reply.
It's called journalistic integrity. I mean, come on. The other night, the Bulls and what is the other team? I mean, I don't watch. The Bulls and whatever, they set the record for most missed threes in a game. Do we really want to see what was it? What was it like 75 or 80 missed threes in a game?
Let me ask you a question. Why didn't the media talk about the 48 game the 48 game made threes? Why did they talk about that? Why is that not something y'all want to talk about? Because after that, the NBA record was broken. 48 threes were made in an NBA game. Why are you not talking about that? Why are you not talking about that?
Well, I think when that happens, when you make a lot of threes, it's great. When you miss, it is a hard watch. The problem is
no. My question to you is, why are you harking on the 78 missed game by a team that nobody gives a damn about, but the two teams that 48 three-pointers are two teams that we all care about and that we all think are good teams? Why are we not talking about that? Why are we talking about the 75
the ratings are what the ratings are.
The ratings don't matter because real NBA fans watch it on the League Pass and on streaming. We don't care about ESPN and TNT. We don't care for cable. We're real basketball fans.
Okay,
that's real. We're not like we don't need ESPN and TNT to watch basketball anymore. You Zesty Jeffries do because you guys don't know how to work your phone. You don't know how to work a computer. You don't even know how to work a smart TV. I guarantee you, all y'all that's getting smart TVs for Christmas are going to be sitting there with your grandkids wondering how does this fucking work.
So when you call me a Jesse Jeffrey, let's preface this because everybody, the post is gonna, the chat is gonna laugh. I'm a Knicks fan. I rooted for Kobe to lose. I rooted for Jordan to lose each finals, and I actually rooted for LeBron in his first final. When LeBron did the whole Miami thing and all that twerking and stuff. That's when I did, so I rooted against them in the last 9 finals he played.
You said twerking and stuff?
They twerked on stage? No, listen, bro. We all know this.
As a Knicks fan, if the Knicks would have pulled that off and started that celebration, would you still feel the same way?
I wanted LeBron to come to the Knicks, but I
answer
realized
my question. Bro, answer my. I got people behind you. Answer my question. If the New York Knicks was smart enough to pull off the deal and get LeBron James, Chris Bosh, and Dwayne Wade to come to New York, and they did the same celebration, your ass wouldn't have been happy and celebrating with them.
But when he said he was going to win 8 finals, we would have held him to it. New York, we built different in New York.
You didn't answer my question. Okay. Were you going to be celebrating and partying with the New York fan base
This is nice, but get to work.
You get the fuck out of here. You lying your dumb ass off. You lying me to get to work. Let me bring Herm up. Chosen one, let me give you a second because I got a GOAT James Kingdom member in the building. Shout out to Herm. What's good, Herm, man? You hear this shit, Herm? You hear this shit, man?
Hey man, but I got a little.
I want a 20v1. I want a 20v1, Herm.
Hey, I don't blame you. Hey, I think you'll do well, but I got to get you to tighten up on your game. I got to get you back on your A game, man, because you been off your A game a little bit. The exposure, I know, when I took it easy on these folks like you been doing lately, man. I got to get you back right, bro.
Nah, I had to take it easy on Scap, though. I had to take it easy on Scap because you got to understand the game plan I was playing on Scap. Scap fell right into my trap. It was perfect.
But I'm gonna let you know about Scap though. Scap is very intellectual and he's shrewd as well though. So
he is.
You pulling your shrewd move, believe me, you pulled one too. So
no, he was on point. He was on point. He had his notes. I was watching the film and I was like, this motherfucker reading notes on me. Oh my god. Reading notes. Yeah, I say, look at this shit. Yeah.
But now I was trying to get you to practice on your 20v1 right now. I was like, you could have kept dude up. I was gonna help him out, man.
No.
He could
Hold
have
on, wait.
messed with
All right.
you a little bit.
So let me bring up the chosen one, so the chosen one can have a conversation with us. We about to have some fun again. This is the Friday Night Exposure with the Exposer, and I'll bring up Ro as well. But let's let Chosen get his word in. What up, Chosen? Thank you for joining me on the Friday Night Exposure with the Exposer. What did you think of the House of Highlights videos? If you did get a chance to see it, and what do you think about me getting a 20v1? Because I need a 20v1, bro. I need a 20v1. Are you there, Chosen? Oh, there you go. Unmute yourself. There you go.
Yeah. What's up, man? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, indeed. I can hear you. Go ahead, brother.
Oh, yeah. I was just going to say, I don't know who the brother was that came up here last. He was spouting a bunch of nonsense.
He down here at the bottom. His name is King Speech Rowe. Shout out to Rowe,
right
man.
here.
He right,
I'm right here.
right here. You gotta love the Zesty Jeffries spirit, man. They got a good spirit. They want to battle. They want to fight. They'll come back.
I don't think he is just to Jeffrey. I think he hate Michael Jordan. If he a Knicks fan, he hate Jordan.
Nah, man.
He hate that man.
These New York fans be lying, bro. They don't be hating Michael Jordan, man. They be
We
lying.
respect him, but we hate the hell out of him, man. We hate the hell out of him. Sir.
My wife is a Knicks fan. She hate Jordan and she don't respect Jordan. That's a real Knicks fan. That's a real Knicks fan. That's a real Knicks fan. She don't respect Jordan. She say she never seen why Jordan was so great. She never understood it.
I'm gonna tell you why your wife hate Jordan, because she thought Jordan was coming to the Knicks, man. And Jordan switched up, man. So that's why she really hates.
Exactly. She a real Knicks fan. She bleed blue and orange. That's facts. My wife, that game last night, she watched it 4 times today. I swear for Lord.
That's beautiful. That game was beautiful.
She was watching that game all day today. I literally all day today. All day was on. She's like, I didn't see it. I said, how you didn't see it? I've been home for 5 hours. It's been on since I've been home.
Hey, John, I gotta bring this up to you because you do defend this era a lot for us, today's NBA for us, for 2017 until now type of thing. And how you feel about LeBron James basically going at Adam Silver and going at the era that you defend the most, with LeBron saying there's too many threes being shot, how he basically feel like the All-Star game be too boring, and his very critical analysis of this era. How you feel about LeBron James himself siding with the guys that you say hate the era, and LeBron James seemingly himself doesn't like it as well?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think LeBron James went as far as saying that he didn't like it or he was siding with what people are saying. He just brought it up because I believe they were asking him, because I didn't get a chance to hear the question. I only heard his response. So it sounds like they were asking him about the All-Star game and how the league can make things better for the All-Star game, and just in general, since people are saying that there is viewership down, which is, again, it's only ESPN and TNT. No one cares about them. But him saying the things about them shooting a lot of threes, it is something that is glaring. I'm not saying that they don't shoot a lot of threes, but I don't think it's bad basketball. And I don't think LeBron James was saying that that's bad basketball. He was just saying, how do we have an approach to where fans could understand the game more so that it's not being talked about in a negative way? Because even the All-Star game, it's hard to get them to play hard when they got to cover 40 feet now. You guys are asking these guys to guard Trae Young, and Trae Young hasn't made an All-Star game, but we're talking about elite players of the most elite players, man. Now you want me to go play defense during my vacation time? The All-Star game is supposed to be for fun. I'm not trying to go guard Stephen Curry 40 feet away from the rim. When you were playing in the All-Star game 30 years ago, you never had to guard Reggie Miller out there. You didn't have to worry about Reggie Miller made 4 All-Stars or some shit like that in his career. Listen, I'm with y'all. The NBA is different. It is different, but it's not bad basketball. If the coaches and the people who study the game on a night in and night out basis are telling us that this is the best way for them to win, because again, it's all about winning, how are we going to argue that? That's the point. This is the only way you're going to win. The team that shoots the best mid-range in the NBA is the Brooklyn Nets. Good luck winning with them.
But Brooklyn, that's
why did Spurs win so many?
But hold on though. But
Spurs shot a lot of threes. They were always one of the top shooting 3-point shooting teams during their span.
But hey, Johnny, to be honest though, that's what keep the Brooklyn Nets in games though. That's why people can't really go into against Brooklyn thinking it's gonna be a pushover, because they take the best shot. I think Isaiah Zeke Thomas said it best. Like, every possession, your goal is to get a point some type of way. Either get the 1 point, whether you probably should go 1 for 2 for the free throw line, get you a 2 points to 3 points. If you always get a point every possession, that always go put pressure on the other team. And I think that the NBA in general went away from that type of thinking. You always want to get the best shot, and you always want to get some type of points every possession. And I think that it's a lot of empty possessions due to people ignoring that simple, basic concept. So I think honestly that's why a lot of people feel the way they do. And Zeke been defending today's era to the fullest, but he even getting sick of what he's seeing, and he's saying on a nightly basis now himself, and he basically analyzed what they're doing strategic, strategy wise offensively, and he honestly feel like that they got away from that concept. Feel like teams need to focus on always try to get a point somehow every possession you go down the court. And I think teams are going away from that, and they just chucking up threes, and they hope they make them. But back to Brooklyn, though, that's why even though they're not going to be a top team and probably won't be a playoff team, but they do compete in every game because they do take the best shot every possession, and they do maximize their possessions every time. So that's why they.
I don't know about that because again, the team that shoots the best from 3-pointer. Hold on, wait. Listen, no, but check this out. The team that shoots the best in today's NBA from 3-pointers is the Cleveland Cavaliers. They have the best record. The next best team is the New York Knicks. They're third in the East. Then you got the Milwaukee Bucks. Then the Denver Nuggets. Then you have the Suns. Then you have the Nets. The Nets is top 10 in 3-point shooting as well. They take almost 40 3-pointers per game. Because, again, you have to take the threes to be able to take any other shot on the basketball court. If you can't shoot the 3-ball, the defense is going to just let you stand out there, and it's going to be easier to play defense. That's why you have to shoot the 3. The 3-pointer is necessary in today's NBA.
I'm going to tell you what I seen.
It's necessary.
I'm going to tell you what I seen a couple weeks ago. When my Memphis Grizzlies played the Kings, I was sitting front row of that game when the Grizzlies were playing the Kings. The only reason the Grizzlies stayed in that game and they came back in that game because they started taking the best. They started taking the best shots every possession. They was taking what the defense give them. They was taking their mid ranges. They was making the extra passes to get the best shot. They didn't, because earlier when the Kings took control of the game, Memphis were getting their ass kicked because they were taking too many threes. Once they start maximizing every possession, the game became easy for Memphis, and that's why they climbed back. And the Kings went away from what they was doing, getting the best shots initially, because DeRozan damn near went 8 for 8 first half against us, taking nothing but mid-range, taking the best shot, took what the defense gave them. And the Kings were dominating us. Once they went away from there, was taking threes. That's why we was able to come back. We were maximizing our possessions, and that's why we won the game. Marcus Smart was taking smart ass shots. He wasn't chucking up threes like he normally do. He was taking what the defense give him, penetrate the defense. He was stopping the pop and taking mid ranges. People forget.
I'm gonna give you the mid range because it's the least efficient shot on the court. Take it. And we're going to win.
If you can make it, you're going to be elite.
You're not. Because the best team shooting at mid-range shoots at about 49%. That's not better than shooting 37, 38%.
When Golden State had KD, they were the best mid-range shooting team in the league.
It doesn't matter. The best shot on the basketball court is not the mid-range shot. It's at the rim or the three-pointer.
Analytics tells you that. I understand analytics tells you that, but there's times in the game where you need that. That's why Kobe was as clutch as he was.
Kobe didn't play in an era where players were shooting 39, 40% from three-point land.
But LeBron James was at the best of his career when he was actually shooting mid.
Again, today's NBA in the last 5 to 6 years shoot better than they've ever shot. I'm talking about the entire NBA. We're not just talking about Stephen Curry and the Warriors. We're talking about the entire NBA. The entire NBA has a bunch of guys who can hit the three-point shot at above average rate. That is better than any other shot other than getting to the rim. So if you're talking about taking the best shots, you're either going to get to the rim, and if they don't give you the rim, they must be giving you the three-pointer, so take the three-pointer. That's the point. If they're not giving you the basket, take the three-pointer. All that other extra shit, you're going to lose doing it. You're shooting 44%, 45% from mid-range. It's not helping somebody that's shooting 39, 38% from the three-point line with 35, 40 three-pointers per game. You're going to lose. That's why the Cleveland Cavaliers are killing everybody. They're hitting threes, and you can't stop them from getting to the rim.
The Cleveland Cavaliers will make it out the second round. I guarantee you.
I don't care what they're going to make it out of. The team that won last year is Boston, and Boston, what's Boston doing? They're shooting threes like
they're
crazy.
Shooting threes, and that's going to be their Achilles heel
but they play elite defense though. Cleveland.
They also do that.
Yes, and they run you off the 3-point line. Like I said, they run you off the 3-point line and they protect the rim. That's if the analytics offensively says shoot the three, then the analytics defensively says run them off the 3-point line. You got to run players off the 3-point line. You can't let players just shoot all the threes. You can't give them that shot.
For that too, though.
That's why you got to get defenders. That's why you got to get defenders.
When you run into that team that can run you off that three and you don't have a plan B. See, this is why guys like Mike D'Antoni never even got to a finals, because he believes in that, right? It's got to be a happy medium. You got to mix it in. You got to be able to score at all three levels.
There's no defense in Mike. There's no defense in Mike D'Antoni's offense.
Yeah, I get it. That's the thing. That was always the feeling.
I just told you how to play defense. I just told you how to play elite defense in today's NBA, and you compared it to D'Antoni.
No,
Like D'Antoni don't play elite defense in today's NBA is running you off the 3-point line. That's elite defense. If I can continually make you run off that 3-point line and move the ball to the point to where you have to take a last-second shot, desperation shot, that is good defense.
Beautiful, you're right. Look at what the Knicks did to Minnesota last night. That was a staple of the Tom Thibodeau Knicks defense era. I get it. Right, we're just missing a couple of guys, and then we'll be able to get back to playing that elite defense more. We actually turned the game around in the second quarter, running Minnesota off the three. I get that part, but what I'm saying is offensively, your game plan has to have a happy medium, because there's times when you're going to miss 10 threes. Look at basketball 101. You're missing 10 threes. Go and hit a 2, and then try to get back out there and hit a couple of threes.
Why do I want that 2 for? So that one possession ain't enough. I need to keep hitting threes, bro.
Because at that point, when you miss 10 threes, you're the other team on a 23 run.
No, it's not. That's why you got to play defense. Hitting me, missing threes got nothing about me playing defense. Now I got to go play defense. Just because I miss a shot don't mean I stop playing defense now. I got to go play defense.
The other team how about this? You miss 10 threes. The other team takes 10 threes as well. They make 2 of them.
No, how about this? How about this? I go and I go 0 for 10 from the 3-point land. I go 0 for 10 from the 3-point land in 10 straight possessions. No turnovers, no nothing.
And the other team make 3.
And the other team goes down, shoots no 3-pointers, and they make 6. I mean, and they make what's it called? They make let's just say they make six shots. Let's say that's a
12-0 run.
There's a 12-0 run. That is a 12-0 run. If I go down and hit 4 threes on the next possession, I basically bring myself right back into the game.
But you're assuming the other team are going to go cold as well.
No. But they have to, because they went 6 of 10. They're not going to shoot 6 of 10 the whole game. They're going to eventually get to 45, 40%.
They only take 2, and they make 4 the next 4.
Okay, let's just say let's even it out. They give them another 10 possessions, and now they're shooting the 45% that they're shooting, right? So how many points is that now? If you got 45%, that's 9 baskets. They got 18 points, right?
But you're still making everything.
But no. But now I'm making my 40% of 3-point shooting on 20 shots, right? 40% of 20 is what, 5?
8, 6, you make 24 points. You make 24 points in your next 20 possessions.
Hold on, wait, let me see here.
You said 20, you made 40%. That's 8.
40, so that's 8 3-pointers, right?
You made 24 points.
I made 24 points to your 18.
But you're still down 6.
You're down 6. Now you're down 6. You went on a 12-0 run. You started on a 12-0 run, and the next 10 possessions, I scored 24 points because I started hitting my 3-pointers.
All right. So you see I get it. You're making an argument of only shooting 3s versus only shooting 2s. But see, nobody only shoots 3s anymore. I mean, only shoots 2s or only shoots 3s.
But the analytics doesn't say that you only shoot 3s, you only shoot 2s. The analytics doesn't say stop playing defense. The analytics doesn't say stop rebounding. The analytics doesn't say cause turnovers.
I think us old heads, we have a problem when the analytics says stop taking the best shot. If you got a 4-on-1 fast break and you pop it out to the corner for a
James got a
three.
problem with
That's
today's
stupid
era.
basketball.
No, because what
That's
you
not
don't
what the
understand
analytics
is
say,
that back when you
LeBron
watch basketball
James
back then,
don't like
when
this.
you watch when you watch basketball back then, the mid-range shot was there to help you have the high percentage shot, which was the at the
Yeah,
rim.
understood.
Okay, so in today's
And LeBron, shut your
NBA,
cat ass
in
up.
today's NBA, because players are faster, because players are quicker, that space between 15 to 20 feet is not enough to help you create that high percentage shot that you want. So you have to make them cover 25 feet.
I completely get it. I
Okay, see
completely
what I'm
get
saying?
it.
So now when I make my guy go back from 20 feet to 25 feet, the defense has to do that. So now I create the space to allow me to have that high percentage shot, because at the end of the day, it's still the same goal. The goal is to get the high
It's all
percentage
about
shot.
spacing. I get it.
Exactly.
Completely.
The difference is that back then we dribbled the ball and passed it down to the low block so somebody can get a high percentage shot. And today's NBA, these guys dribble past screens, or they dribble past a defender to
Back
get to the low
then,
block.
you play inside out. Now you play outside in. I completely get that. I get the evolution of the game.
That's not
What
true,
I'm
though.
saying is, it's gotta be a happy medium. Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Chosen. Go ahead,
Y'all
Chosen.
gonna go against
That's
what
not true.
guys
The
like LeBron
analytics tell you
James
the most
say,
efficient
and guys
shot
like
is a
Isaiah
layup,
Z.
even in
Thomas
today's
say.
game.
Hold on,
The two
wait.
most brilliant minds in NBA history, and we want to go against what those two are saying. If those two are saying that it's bad for basketball, hey, who are we to say what's good for basketball? Those two really don't approve what the hell going on. Hey man, y'all pick and choose when to take somebody's word serious. That's the BS that I'm talking about. End of the day, LeBron James said what he said for a reason, and Isaiah Z. Thomas said what he said for a reason. If y'all punk ass niggas, including the FIF, don't go against that shit, man, y'all some capping ass niggas. Stop picking and choosing shit y'all want to use about guys that y'all love, guys that y'all want to listen to when it comes to cooking Michael Jordan. So if y'all come up going against this shit, I'ma say F y'all. I'ma get I'ma say fuck you right now, cause I know you better do. Man, and let the man of the hour, man, his platform shout to FIF. Hey man, got a great thing going on with his team. Y'all need to check out his squad out, man. They are playing great basketball. Shout out to Lamont, man. Shout out to
Lamont, you need to go live again. We need more Herm out
We're
here.
going live
We need more
tomorrow.
Herm out here. We need more Herm in this world.
Hey, and the funny thing is, my live tomorrow is about this exact topic because it's so stupid, man. It's all these washed up old heads, past their prime, wish they could still hoop. No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying because it don't take. Look, we just played the games a day ago where we played a number 11 team in the country. I looked at the stat sheet at halftime. You know what it said? We was down too. We was down 11 and a half. When I looked at that stat sheet, it said the other team, it was 0 of 11 from the three-point line. You know what I told my guys? I said, you know what we doing? I said, we packing it in. We're going to let them go ahead and just chuck up threes because they ain't about to get no more layups with all these 6'11 guys flying at the rim. We packed it in. They started the half off. They went like 0 8 from threes. And the only reason they were taking the threes is because there's something that's called a shot clock. When that shot clock starts to run down because you've thrown a monkey wrench into this game plan of, like Herman's trying to say, taking the best shot, what only shot they have left is the three-pointer on the perimeter because the shot clock dictates what type of shot you take. Offenses don't dictate it. And so all this stuff about taking all the right shot and all that stuff, if players could take a layup every possession, they would take a layup every possession. Unfortunately, basketball don't work that way. And it's so weird. When we get the team that tries to do this every point of possession type of thing, then you have the Phoenix Suns of the 2000s. And you know what suffers? Their defense when you try to play that way. And so no matter what style of play it is, it just seems like the old heads, and especially these Jordan fans, are going to find a reason to complain about anything that happens during this era of basketball. No matter how it's played, they're going to complain about the threes. They're going to complain about LeBron. They're going to complain about Steph Curry. They're going to complain about what these guys are doing off the court. Or they're doing podcasts. They're literally complaining about everything that these players today are doing because there's really been no perfect balance in any era. Right? There's been eras where nobody shot threes. There's been eras where, like in the 80s, they were super high, fast paced, didn't play no defense. There's eras in the 90s where they slowed the pace down, played all ISO basketball, and none of them could shoot threes. So I don't know where this perfect balance of basketball y'all looking for is because it never existed. There's been deficiencies in every era. This is probably the most complete. This is the most complete. This is the most complete basketball we've ever seen in all of our lifetimes. We've never seen it. The 70s weren't more complete. The 80s weren't more complete. The 90s weren't more complete. The 2000s weren't more complete. Because what do we see in the 2000s? In the 2000s, some people say is the best era. Well, as soon as they put the zone in, what happened? The scoring in the entire league dropped and had a significant decline until they were able to breed three-point shooters and find all the three-point shooters to come into the league. Right? So there was deficiencies there. There's deficiencies everywhere. Y'all just got to stop complaining. And all these old heads talking about the game is bad or the ratings are going down. My best advice to y'all is just stop watching. Go watch you some cricket or rugby. Go find a whole new sport to watch. There's other stuff to watch because the thing is, just like Ajani says, the hardcore basketball fans are still gonna watch it, and there's a level of appreciation there. All the people saying the game is bad and y'all crying about the ratings, that's just y'all trying to find something new to complain about.
Thank you.
Y'all even cry when they make more money. Because when they make more money, you know what they say? Oh, these guys are making so much money. They shouldn't be making this much. Everything y'all find a reason to complain about with this era. Every single thing, man. Guys, they get player movement. Oh, guys just want to switch teams. Man, come on, man. Y'all complaining too much, man. Ain't no problem. That's y'all. It's y'all. It's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, hold on.
See, when you invite us to not watch, we're not watching. That's why the ratings suck.
Hold on. Check this out. The thing is, even without you watching, you are still helping the NBA make money by coming to podcasts like this. Because all of this NBA talk, all of this stuff. So the thing is, y'all even complaining about it being a humongous. That's still any good publicity, bad publicity is still money in marketing. So when y'all say it's bad, y'all just making somebody else go peek into the league and say, is it really that bad? All y'all doing is just giving them. Y'all really love the league. Y'all really love LeBron. Y'all love this league. Y'all love the three-point shooting. And like I'm honest. Go, Jamie. I'm gonna get off here. I'm gonna be honest. When I hooped, I hated players like Iverson. You know why? Because I wasn't an ISO player. I was a catch and shoot player. I relied on guys to move the ball. So you know what? As a player, I despise players like Allen Iverson. I despise all these dudes in Chicago at Chicago State I was hooping with because they all ISO players. Wouldn't pass me the ball. I'm a shooter. So at the end of the day, all these old heads really despise what they're seeing today because Isaiah Thomas couldn't shoot threes. All these old heads, all these people that talk about shoot too many threes, y'all couldn't shoot threes. That's why y'all couldn't. Just go James Kingdom. Find me one three-point shooter. Find me one three-point shooter that's saying the three-point shooter today is bad.
Yeah, no, that's the point. That's why Isaiah's mad. And just to say what
he wasn't no three-point shooter.
We never.
He was not a three-point shooter. Don't lie on BJ Armstrong. He was not a three-point shooter. He made a few threes. He was not a three-point shooter. Craig Hodges, John Paxson, Steve Kerr were the three-point shooters.
Yeah.
BJ Armstrong was a mid-range elbow jump shot taker.
Yeah.
Oh, but you thought we didn't.
And the only reason he was a mid-range shooter because he can't. The only reason he's a mid-range shooter is because he can't get to the rim. All the guys who y'all love to say are mid-range shooters because they can't get to the basket, and they're not good enough to get to the basket. That's why when you started seeing big men shoot mid-range jumpers, it was a phenom. Oh my God, Karl Malone's out here hitting 18-footers. That's not normal. When you Bob McAdoo and you're Elvin Hayes and you're Kevin McHale, you ain't shooting no 18-footers. You got to get down to the block. What are you doing? You're on the weak side. The strong side is the center. The weak side is the power forward. We all know this is basketball 101. This is nothing new. But this is what y'all want to watch. Y'all want to watch 1950s basketball where they can dribble above the ball. Let's do all of that. Why not stop at the 3-point line? Let's go back to traditional basketball to where you got to put your hands above the ball. You can't put it on the side, or that's a carry. So we can see motherfuckers dribble the ball like this and can't cross over, and they got to
exactly. Let's go back to all the bullshit rules, all the old looking basketball.
No real hand checking. No real hand checking. If you go look at the 60s, you never see Bill Russell put his hands on Wilt Chamberlain. It's hands out. It's hands up, hands out. That's how you play defense. Yep. Don't put your hands out like this. You never do that. Let's go back to that. Since y'all want to take everything away from the game because you can't shoot a 3-pointer. Because you can't shoot a 3-pointer. Yeah,
what's your favorite rivalry? player or team in the NBA today.
What? A rivalry was just built. You don't see that, y'all. How many times y'all scream "fuck Trae Young"? Y'all not even playing Atlanta.
You know what? Well, since the dice roll, the Knicks are 2-0, and the Hawks are 0-2. We going for a championship. That championship was big.
Why you never answer my question, Ro? Why you never answer my question,
That's
Ro?
not a rivalry. I just said it. It's not a rivalry.
I see it. We see the biggest rivalry. Me and Ajani see the biggest rivalry in the league today. Every time we go live, you know what the biggest rivalry is? It's literally any team that LeBron James is on versus the world.
What's that?
That's it. That's the rivalry. That's the rivalry.
So we had to cook up a rivalry.
No more. They ain't a rivalry no more.
No. That's a legit. You know what? Let me say something. Go ahead.
No. The rivalries. Hold on. We don't. The players can't control that. The thing is, rivalries stemmed from. You can only have rivalries if the owners have control of the league.
There is rivalries, man. Real basketball fans have rivalries, Lamont. No, Lamont. We're not gonna do this. No. We're not gonna let people who don't have. Wait. Hold on. We're not gonna let people who don't have a basketball team that they root for sit here and tell you there's no rivalries. I was just on Chill Towns Live the other day explaining how I hate the Pistons. Why? Because they beat on my damn Heat. I hate it. Because when you invested in a team, you know you have your rivals. I hate Boston. That's a rival. The Lakers and the Warriors is a rival. That's why they're playing on Christmas Day.
So you telling me you hate Cade Cunningham right now? You're like you got smoke for Cade Cunningham and
Jalen Duren gets on my nerves.
Does he?
God, oh my God.
He's a great rebounder.
Hold on. Wasn't Trae Young rolling dice on the Knicks logo? You telling me that ain't a rivalry?
That's a rivalry.
It's not a rivalry.
Wait. Hold on. If it's not a rivalry, then why is he shooting dice on your logo if it's not a rivalry?
Bro, we don't even care. Like, I'm a Knicks fan. We don't care.
You're lying.
You're lying.
You know, I know you lying. Bro, I know you lying because I sleep next to a New York Knicks fan for real. You know what she calls Trae Young? She calls Trae Young the lollipop that got hair on it. That's what she calls him.
I call him a dirty teacher. I got it. But it's not a real rivalry. We own them. And see, in this rivalry, we have everything to lose.
Hey, Johnny, it ain't a rivalry if it don't have the NBA or NBC theme music playing. See, remember you played that theme music?
That's the truth.
They don't think it's a rivalry.
Matter of fact, wait. I'm glad that you said that because shout out to Lo. Shout out to Lo, Legend of Winning, because he actually dropped a Twitter video that I saw recently. It's probably on his YouTube channel where he talked about the NBA switched 2 games in January, where they added OKC and another game. But the 2 games that they took away was the Knicks versus, I think, Toronto, and another one was like a Washington Wizard game. So you got to ask yourself, why is ESPN letting the NBA give them Wizards games or getting Toronto games? Toronto doesn't have enough fans. You should put on the Knicks and Atlanta and make it a rivalry like they were doing on NBC.
You're right.
They don't. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. That's why I am glad NBC will be taking over, because they're going to do a way better job than TNT does. Those guys don't give us the product that the NBA has. They make it the perception distorts your reality, and they make you perceive that it's not nothing to watch. When Charles Barkley tells you, I didn't watch tonight's game, I was sleeping, and he's supposed to give us a breakdown of tonight's game, that lets you know why am I watching? If
he paid him $20 million to do it too.
Exactly.
I was going with that, and see, I'm not blaming the players. I'm blaming the actual league, Silver. Actually, I think Silver's the main culprit, because the way they call technicals, we getting technicals called for stand-downs after dunks. We getting technicals because the guy clapped. Like, you clap at a guy. Like, remember
because of the Knicks. Because of the Knicks.
Did you say that when they started calling a whole bunch of flagrants from Michael Jordan?
Bro, I'm a Knicks fan. We beat the hell out of Michael Jordan. I get it.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
get it.
Because of y'all. Y'all got mad that we flipped PJ Brown. When
that
PJ
was
Brown
a
flipped
real
Charlie
player.
Ward, we
Hey,
flipped
listen,
Charlie
bro,
Ward. You
I lived
cleared
through
your
it.
bench. You
I lived
cleared your
through it.
bench. You got nothing because you guys grabbed nothing but thugs. Because that's how you could win basketball in the '90s. Go get
Stop
thugs.
it. Bro,
Go
they
get
really
thugs.
overreacted after Malice in the Palace, but they've
They
taken
had to.
all
They
of the
had to though.
smoke. Like
They
it's got,
had to though.
but you gotta let a little smoke in, bro. You like now.
You gotta remember, because y'all gotta understand the history. They were just signing a deal with ABC. You know who owns ABC?
I get it, Disney. I get it. I get it.
And so you can't have Ron Artest and Steven Jackson running into the stands.
And Ben Wallace
on a national televised. This is a national televised game, and then afterwards, ESPN goes on an hour rant about the whole fight. They kept showing clip after clip, breaking it down. Come on, bro. They did a bad job.
Johnny, this is all fake, Johnny. Hey, Johnny, this is all everything that he's saying. I would say because these are the same people. Every time Draymond Green throws an elbow or kicks somebody, they the ones running around talking about he needs to get suspended 1 million games.
Dude, I'm a Knicks
It's all
fan.
fake outrage. It's all fake outrage. I know it's fake.
I wish he could have met Charles
Hey, Johnny. I've heard it all. I've heard it all. It's all fake, man. It's all fake. They fake outrage. They make up this fake toughness stuff. When they see toughness, they start running around crying and talk about getting the suspensions and everything. So when you see the toughness, when you see the fights, you start crying. Then when you don't see it, you start crying for it. Man, come on, man.
Exactly.
You can't say this to a Knicks fan.
Wait, bro, because we gotta let Herman go. But go ahead, Lamont. Continue, Lamont.
The Knicks fan, y'all need to worry about putting some toughness in that Jericho dude, the softest motherfucker in the NBA. That's what y'all need to figure out. That's what y'all need to figure out. Y'all got the softest player in the NBA. Yeah, but you sitting here talking about the toughness and all this stuff. But every time Draymond Green, because Draymond Green is probably the closest thing to a 90s player in the league, and all these 90s players, all y'all do is cry and complain about how Draymond Green fouls and Draymond Green is rough and tough. And also, remember, when Draymond Green wasn't making threes, y'all crying, well, Draymond Green can't make no shots. So again, all the stuff y'all crying about, shooting the threes, when the player can't make the threes, you cry about it. When he don't take the threes, you cry about it. Man, y'all don't know what the hell y'all want. Y'all all over the place with y'all logic. Y'all say y'all want toughness, then cry when you see toughness. Y'all say all this stuff. You say the viewership is down, but you still watch. You say you hate LeBron, but you're at every LeBron podcast. I don't get nothing y'all be saying, man. Y'all just walking contradictions, man.
You just told a Knicks fan we hate toughness. I mean, come on, man.
Hold on, let Herman. Let's let Herman. Go ahead, Herman. Go ahead, Herman.
You had your little subtitle of LeBron versus the world. You need to do LeBron versus Adam Silver, and I think that should be a topic that everybody should be talking about right now.
Johnny versus Zesty Jeffries. That's what we need to do.
Cause LeBron James doesn't like what Adam Silver got going on, man, and I think that little beef is gonna get ignited real soon. Cause I don't like what Adam Silver doing as well. I think Adam Silver needs to be put to the frying pan. He needs to get cooked. He needs to get stir fried because what he doing, he got to make certain adjustments, man, to make the game. I think the NBA really needs to adopt the Euro League style of play. Just adopt everything what Europe got going on, man, and I think it'll be just fine. I think it'll be just fine. Basically, adopt the Olympic play. Adopt the Olympic play. It'll be fine, bro.
They did the right thing. They did the right thing. Amazon, NBA TV, and NBC will save the NBA. From all of you Zesty Jeffries who's been watching ESPN and TNT for all of these years. They're going to save the NBA. And Lamont, you are so correct, because if we really want to believe what Zesty Jeffries say, then Rudy Gobert should get the ball a lot more, and we should let Rudy Gobert get on the block, and they should actually thrust that into the world. That we need to see Rudy Gobert play better.
Give Mutombo the ball.
Who's another big man? We should get Nurkic the ball more. We need to get the ball to Valanciunas the ball more. Just throw it down to these big men.
Running no offense through Mutombo in the 90s.
Because Mutombo sucks. Y'all keep praising Mutombo.
But I think that's a comparison.
Exactly. Thank you, Ajani.
But here's the thing. Rudy
Gobert is way better than Mutombo. They get mad at me when I say that. He's way better than Mutombo.
They bet tip for tech. And to be honest, the Nuggets never gave the ball really to Mutombo like that. They ran the offense with Chris Jackson. You know what I'm saying? And Antonio McDyess and them and Brian Stiff and them. That one run that offense do no
No,
damage.
can you wait? Could you imagine if Rudy Gobert could stand there and have a bunch of dudes stand under the rim and try to put shots on him left and right, where he don't have to do nothing but stand there and
No,
block shots?
they were giving Mutombo the ball. They were just sorry as hell. That's what it was. The bigs were sorry. They were sorry. Mutombo.
A 1 seed as the 8 seed.
We need to give the ball. We need to give the ball to Evan. We need to give the ball to Evan Mobley more. We need to get the ball to Evan Mobley more in the paint.
Jackson could Gary Payton that whole shit.
Well, Evan Mobley's nice. Evan Mobley's nice.
That's what I'm saying. But the difference is that you have players like R.J. Barrett. You got players like let me see, Banchero. You got players like LeBron. You got players like Tyrese Maxey, Jalen Johnson. These are all perimeter players who shoot at a high rate at the rim. You didn't have a bunch of guys like that in the 90s doing that. That's what you guys fail to realize. Those guys were not great at basketball. They didn't have multiple skills. They were not complete basketball players like today's basketball players are. Even you get a guy like Norman. You get a guy like Norman Powell who can be a 6-man or he could be your star. Because he can do multiple things on the basketball court, but it depends on the opportunity. Like Lamont said, the shot clock and defense dictate your offense. So it depends on what we're trying to do here. Y'all fail to realize they're just better players. You got John Morant. You got so many guys that are not going to sit there and let Rudy Gobert just block their shot. They're going to find ways to get around Rudy Gobert. They're going to be more creative at the rim. They're going to be more creative at getting to the rim. They're going to design. You see Anthony Edwards now where he slows down his Euro step, where he actually slows it down. So that way he throws the defender off timing. That way he can get his shot off over him. Because a contested layup is not better than an open three-pointer. I don't care what y'all tell me. The NBA tries to get the most open shot. Somebody was saying, they don't even contest three-pointers. That's good. That means I found the open man. That's good basketball. Like Lamont said, I want to find the open man. I want to move the ball, get the open man, get the best shot, which is the open shot. I want to get to the rim if I can. If they're defending the rim, then obviously they're not defending the three-point line. Shoot the three.
And I gotta say this.
That's
about
it, bro.
The 90s. This is what I gotta say about the 90s centers, though. They are the most overrated centers of all time in the 90s, man. I think
they were better than the 80s.
The 70s centers are actually better than the 90s centers.
Yes, 70s got some great centers. They got some great centers in the 70s.
Are more talented than the 90s centers. The 90s centers are top heavy. You only got 3 or 4 legit centers in the 90s. In the 70s,
that's wild. You had at least 10. You had at least about 10.
Man, no, the 90s only got about 4 legit good
Again,
centers. Right?
What made the 90s basketball so great was because they made you think Mutombo was great. They made you think Rick Smith was great.
Mutombo was good at what he was.
You never heard nobody talk bad about Rick Smith like you hear them talk bad about Rudy Gobert.
Rick Smith
you never heard that. Nobody was saying these things. You didn't go. You never went exactly. You never went to the Sean Bradley and
damn George Miller.
Matter of fact, Big Country Reeves. We talk about Kwame Brown all the time. Why? Because of Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith went on national television, called Kwame Brown all kind of ill names. But you know what happened with Brian Country Reeves? No one went on national television saying Big Country Reeves was a bust. No one.
He ate his way out of the league. He did eat his way out of the league, but he was pretty skilled.
You heard Lamont. You heard this, Lamont. You heard this, Lamont.
Yeah, this is wild. This is wild right now.
Wait.
He just said Big Country skill. This is wild, man.
This is the same Big Country I watched destroy Tim Duncan in college. So I mean, come on.
No. In NBA, give me one game in the NBA that you recall a Big Country ever being skilled.
I said
I can go
rewatch out of the league. No, he had a couple decent years. He had a couple decent years.
But I can't say. Let's give the ball to Rudy Gobert. Oh my God.
Because you're not gonna get a ball to Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert is gonna pass it out with a 6'7" guy on him.
Who would you rather give the ball to, Rudy Gobert or Big Country?
But Big Country Reeves was skilled.
Y'all hear this, man? This is how delusional they are, man. It's crazy, man.
Gobert scores on putback and clear outs.
Because if Patrick Ewing, because the Knicks fan remember this, if Patrick Ewing, who missed that wide open layup in a clutch moment, if he did that in today's game, he gets buried. But because he did it in a time frame where it wasn't popular to tear down the players, he could miss a wide open layup that could have really protected.
He got buried. I'm not gonna lie, because New York, because it's New
It could
York
have been
media.
worse. No,
Yeah, no, I know,
we're
no,
talking
no,
about
yeah,
national
no.
media.
Yeah, it wasn't national. It's New York media. It's New York media. Yeah, it wasn't national. It wasn't national.
In that
We're
game,
talking about.
what he had like 30 points and 13 rebounds. He missed the leg. He missed the layup. Yes, he did.
No,
But
no. Matter of fact,
he was a
wait a
warrior.
minute. We all had empathy when we saw Akeem in a Toronto's uniform. We all had empathy when we saw Patrick in an Orlando uniform. We all had sympathy for all these players when we were like, oh my God, look at them. Charles Barkley, all these guys. When players do it today, it's, oh, look at Chris Paul. No praise for Chris Paul, Kevin Durant.
Hey, Chris Paul been balling.
None of those teams, none of those guys. Nobody feels like damn. It's sad to see Chris Paul in a Spurs uniform.
Yeah.
We don't say that shit because we don't appreciate players today because we've been fed Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless content for basketball for the last 15 years.
Well, whose fault is that? Is that old head fault or is that y'all fault?
No,
I don't listen to either.
no. It's Michael Jordan's fault because he created
Now
the
it's Michael
casuals.
Jordan. Oh,
Yes, because Michael Jordan created the casuals who had nothing better to do.
Okay.
Who had nothing
You
better
understand
to
what Michael
bro. Let
Jordan
me,
was
bro.
Okay, go ahead,
Y'all gotta let people fucking speak, bro. Michael Jordan fans who had nothing better to do after he retired and they couldn't like the Lakers after 2010 had nothing better to do but hate the game because they didn't have nothing to watch or like because there was no more Kobe Bryant to like anymore. He was getting hurt. The Lakers were not good enough. There's no Bulls. They were never really Bulls fans. So for the last 12, 14 years, it's just been let me just hate because the game that I'm supposedly love is not the same game that I love because you only watched it from 96 to 2010.
So you said Michael Jordan. First of all, you blame it on Michael Jordan, then you blame it on his fans. What about the Michael Jordan fans that love
He's responsible for his fans. He's responsible for it. He's the one that came out with that commercial. Maybe you're just making excuses.
It's true.
No, Jordan, you lied to us. You lied to us. And then you came out with a documentary just 4 years ago and lied even more.
Hey,
didn't y'all say all the Kobe fans became Golden State fans?
Hold on, Ro.
No.
The name in the media, all you had to bring up was Michael Wilbon. I think he's been straight down the middle of everything. He was just saying, hell, LeBron James do deserve to go to State. He pushing forward because he think that'll be good for basketball. If LeBron and Stephen Curry play
when
together.
has Michael Wilbon? When's the last time Mike Wilbon went national on anything? Like he's not. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like nobody. He's not on any national platform. They do have him. No. He be there for the finals, right? They be using him for the playoffs. I agree there. We all know Wilbon's a big time basketball fan, right? We know that. Nobody hold these guys' word as golden, but you guys, you Kobe fans and Michael Jordan fans hold other players and other people in the industry in basketball words as golden. We don't do that here in Go James Kingdom.
Stephen A used to be
when we use Isaiah, like when I use Isaiah Thomas words, I never use Isaiah Thomas saying LeBron's the GOAT. You know what I use Isaiah Thomas words for? When he talked about how you have to pass the ball as a point guard. And how he explained as a point guard, it's not just as simple as making a pass. The pass within itself dictates to the player what they should do with the ball.
What about timing?
So exactly, it's all about all of that. So like things like that, I understand what Isaiah Thomas is saying. We all understand what they're saying when we're seeing teams take 53 pointers in a game and they only have 90 possessions. We get it. But you guys have to understand also there's a reason why he's saying that because he can't really understand it because in his era, he never saw somebody that can shoot like the players do today. So in his mind, yeah, you're taking those shots, but like I said, but what if you go on a slump? It's the same thing with a mid-range. In fact, if I'm correct, and I've been trying to do this research, there's a game in 1997 where they missed over 70 mid-range jump shots. And I'm going to do my research, but nobody's going to say that was a horrible game. There's an NBA game where the most points were scored, where an NBA team scored 180 points.
That was in the 80s. That was
no one says, oh, they don't play defense in the 80s because they have the highest scoring game in NBA history. And like I said, we just watched an NBA team in an NBA game shoot 48 three-pointers and make them, and no one's talking about that. No one's saying, wow,
my
look
team ain't never doing this shit again. We ain't gonna do this shit.
Can I get?
Yeah, I'm gonna let everybody get there. I'm gonna start with you, Ro. You get your last word. We'll let Herman and we'll let Lamar go because I have to get up out of here. So go ahead, Ro. Get your last word, brother.
I'm gonna give an old head some props, and that's Mark Jackson. And it's a shame that he's not nationally calling the game because I genuinely enjoyed him. Now remember, who was the first coach that pushed Golden State to the forefront? Who was the one that came up with Splash Brothers, gave Clay and Steph their swag? That was Mark Jackson. And this is the guy who preached defense, who was a point guard of all point guards from the Jordan era, the guy that talked shit to Jordan in a playoff series with the Knicks. You understand? So he's a guy that understands. And like I said, I believe in a happy medium. Like, you got to have all aspects of the game. You got to be able to hit the mid-range. You got to be able to get to the basket. But you got to pick and choose. You got to know when to load up what shot, right? So Mark Jackson is not one of these guys that said – he's one of the guys that kind of authored this era because he believed – when he went to Golden State, he said, you know, these guys are good at shooting the threes, but we got to learn how to play some defense and play elite offense as well. And he didn't win the championship. Kurt took them to the next level, but he's the guy that got them to that from a perpetual lottery team to the playoffs. And Mark Jackson. So he's not one of these guys that believe, oh, the three is killing the game. He understands, though, you got to mix the new school with the old school. You got to be able to do a little of everything, and you got to do what you do best. And that's Mark Jackson.
Yeah, if I'm correct, Mark Jackson is like, man, shoot them 3-pointers. I don't care what nobody says. Y'all shoot them so good. He saw the writing on the wall. He was like, shoot them, because that's how we gonna win. Because nobody's gonna beat us if both of y'all are shooting 40% from 3-point land. That's better than shooting anywhere else on the basketball court. That's it. So I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, that's my beef. That's my beef because everybody's trying to play like Golden State, but everybody ain't got Clay and Steph. If you don't got Clay and Steph, you shouldn't be shooting the threes that Golden State is shooting. You got to come up with something else. Orlando's a bad 3-point shooting team. They need to figure out, especially with their 2 stars out, a different game plan to take. And they do that because they play good defense. But yeah, that's all I got.
They can't get to the rim. That's why, bro. I appreciate you, Ro, man. Thanks you. Shout out to Ro.
No
man.
doubt.
All right, go ahead, Herm. You get your last word in, brother.
Hey, I think Low in the chat. I think you should let Low come up if you got a little more time.
Oh, you know what? If Low is there, because I actually have a question for Low, because Low did make a video about the 3-point shooting, so I definitely want Low to step up. Shout out to Low. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm putting the link up for Low. But go ahead, Herm.
Man, shout out to my brothers Ajani and Lamont, man. Good video, Ajani, man. And everybody, period, man. You love the game of basketball, man. Just enjoy it. It's always gonna be pros and cons in the game of basketball. It's been like that since the game was introduced, since the NBA began. So we always gonna be able to nitpick. But at the end of the day, y'all, if you guys are real basketball fans, y'all can enjoy the game. I still enjoy the game to this day. It's just certain things I feel like they could tighten up for us. The IQ level, yes, because the world's been catching up with us for years and they right there. So I do want to see the younger players become better with their IQ. But outside of that, the game is still good. Don't worry about the ratings part because they got a lot of deals on the table. So the NBA still going to be great, still going to be flourishing. The only thing that may take the NBA down, this is a slight to the women's game, but the WNBA probably the reason why the NBA going through a little crisis. But that's a topic for another day. But, man, shout out to everybody, man. Man, keep doing your thing. Hey, Johnny, man, that 20 versus 1, that's going to be quite interesting and quite entertaining if 20 people are brave enough to go against. Hell, I may need to join them, Johnny, because they may need my help, man. They may need my help to go.
Let's sign up. Listen, holla at Martell. Holla at Martell. Martell's trying to set it up. He's trying to set it up right now. Shout out to Martell from Miami Heat Zone. He's trying to set it up right now. 20v1. Ajani versus all the Zesty Jeffries. Not you, Herm, but all of them. Bring them all in. Round them up. Let's go. Round them up. All right, man. Appreciate you, Herm. Hey, listen, y'all make sure to check out Hollywood Herm. As y'all know, Herm is all over the place. He be representing, doing his thing. As you see, he tries to be the most neutral fan, but he can never make us neutral because we GOAT James Kingdom. We don't give a fuck about that neutral shit. We talk basketball around here. So let's let Lamont in. Lamont, get your last word in. And the link is up for Lo. If Lo wants to step up to the plate, Lo, I got a question for you because Lo, you brought up a great take about the 3-pointers, and I would love to ask you a question. But go ahead, Lamont.
Man, everybody's asking the wrong question about the threes. They should be asking about the defenses that are putting these teams in a situation where they're forced to take a lot of threes. Because remember, the claim is that they don't play defense in today's era. The claim is like when they want to talk down on these players of the day, especially about the scoring, they'll say that you can just walk to the rim and get an easy layup. But in that same breath, they want to cry about the players that are shooting threes. So you can't have it both ways. I think there's a lot of people that just don't understand defense. and how talented defenses today are. And so they, instead of just really trying to understand defense and try to give credit to some of these teams and players that they don't want to give credit to defensively, they just cry about the offense and teams who are forced into shooting a lot of bad threes. And that's the one thing you won't hear from this last thing where you talk about teams, this team that shot up 40-something or 50-something threes out of 90 possessions. No, that defense on the other end is never going to get credit for forcing it and putting that team in a situation. So just a lot of disingenuous talk, man. Hopefully, they'll get better over time. I don't think it will, but we'll see how it goes.
Facts. But you know what? This is crazy because I actually was going to make tonight's show about the three-point shooting in today's NBA, but after I watched that 1 versus 10, I was like, man, I really got to do a reaction on that. So I was like, I'm just going to do that. And I was going to do some more research on the three-point shooting. I actually wanted to talk to Lo. I'm glad I brought up Lo. Shout out to Lo. Thank you for joining me again. Lo, you made a video about... You made a video about how people have been complaining about the three-point shooting, and you were saying how it's just the game plan. This is how people feel like they need to win, right? And you were saying how there was a point in time there was no shot clock, so people used to hold the ball. And the league had to change rules to make people stop doing that because that was basically the best way to win, right? Get up by 3-4 points and just hold the ball, right? There's no shot clock. There's nothing that says I have to shoot the ball. I can hold the ball for the rest of the game, right? Horrible games. Remember, you showed the clip. So my question to you is, you said that there would need to be some kind of rule change. What do you think a rule change would be necessary to change the game plan of, well, I need to shoot threes to win?
I don't really, to answer the rating, I'll answer the question, but to answer the rating question at large, I don't really think it's as big as a deal as just needing a star in place. There's not a marketable star right now. Or at least there's not a star that people don't care enough about, and there's not enough drama going on. I think that's a much bigger problem. Okay. But personally speaking, I feel like a lot of the threes are being generated by players being able to like drive and kick. If you just like allow a little bit more physicality and less carrying, a lot of that stuff will kind of just solve itself out. But I don't think there needs to be like drastic rule changes. Like when people saying they need to put a cap on 3-point shooting, I don't think that's going to that doesn't change it. There's some people saying that they only need to allow 25 threes, and I'm like, that's not. I don't think it's going to
Hey, can you imagine the NFL say, hey, Philadelphia, you only could do the 1 yard quarterback sneak twice, and you can't do it on the goal line.
It's not. But I think also a lot of it is disingenuous. Like the ratings across the board is down since like 25 years ago. Everybody's acting as if like it's just an NBA thing. Ratings across the board are not the same. The people are like, oh, the MLB is up. The MLB just last year, it was the worst ratings in MLB history. This year it's different because the players that made it to the they made it to the World Series was what's his name?
Otani, the Asian guy, the Asian guy got a big following. He has a big following.
And Aaron Judge. So it was like players that people knew, they understood. Patty Mahomes is dominating in NFL. The same problems that people are talking about right now in the NBA, the WNBA been dealing with them for years. Caitlin Clark comes, and now those problems really don't persist anymore. You just need a star. Like a lot of the things that people are concerned with right now, they need to be stars in place. And also, it's a lot of people who are loud talking about things that they love to watch back in the day that really weren't being watched. Stop telling me that everyone was watching back in the early 2000s when those are like some of the worst ratings in the last 30, 40 years. Stop saying that. Like that people weren't watching in the early 2000s the way that y'all keep saying that they were.
It's bad, but bring up the ratings. Like I said, it seems to be a heavy conversation. I agree with you. I don't think it's as a big deal as people make it out to be. But do you think the NBA can just silence everybody by letting everybody know how much subscriptions they have as far as League Pass and how many people do actually watch via streaming?
They could, but you can also argue like they're still going to say that the viewership in the TV should be high because there's also like subscription models for the NFL, and those are going up as well as ratings as well. So like both can go up, and I agree. I think the online presence with the NBA is something that's really hard to measure in contrast to everyone else. I think that's really, really hard to. But like at the end of the day, like sure they could adjust the 3-point shooting. They could bring back physicality that people swear that they want, and even though back then they weren't watching. If there's not a star, if there's not drama, if there's not something that is pushing what's going on, then people are just not going to talk about it. People are not gravitating to it. And I even see some people in the chat talking about it. There's quite literally channels that have spawned and all they want to do is talk about LeBron. Even though they swear that everybody else does nothing wrong but talk about LeBron, they do nothing but talk about LeBron because they thirst for drama. They want drama. That's literally it.
That is nothing but facts, man. But one last question for you before I let you go and before we get up out of here. All right, so you made a video today about how it's really because of the media. The national media has done a horrible job presenting the product of the NBA to us and things of that nature. I've always said TNT and ESPN has been the catalyst to all of this. Do you think that the NBC taking over next year will help? Because remember, when they took it over, they gave us the drama. They gave us even if it was just the Spurs versus the Rockets. They had a story. They had a storyline. They captivated us, even like you said, because on a Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon, where we were sitting in their house, that was kind of it was drama. It was made for TV drama. Do you think we'll have some more of that? And do you think Amazon will help with the new technology like the NFL has, where they did like the Simpsons, where we were watching a game and it was like the Simpsons players?
Nah, I don't think. I know. I think part of it is also like the media just does a terrible job with reporting on things that happen in the NBA. So like Giannis and Jokic do a lot of things that people claim that they want to watch, but people still don't do it. So if people in the chat or just in the general talking about everyone hops around from team to team and everybody don't stay with their own team, Giannis and Jokic has been on the same roster for over a decade now. If you want to watch defense, Giannis does that. If you don't watch 3-point shooting, neither one of them shoot that many threes. Denver does not shoot that many threes at all. If you want to watch more passing, Jokic does those things. I was literally telling people about Jokic 2 years ago, and everybody telling me no. And the truth of the matter is, y'all don't watch them, and it's because y'all were not invested in what was going on. So, do I think that the media is going to change? Not really, because that's been ingrained in what's going on. I think it's been much more rampant over the last 20 years because people are more invested in the idea from a media member. They're more invested into this idea of trying to commit to proving Nick Wright wrong or Stephen A. Smith wrong, rather than making sure the story is being told correctly. Nick Wright was going on TV, lying to people, telling how Jokic is the worst MVP of all time, despite the fact that everything pointed to the opposite, just so he can be correct. He wanted to be proven right instead of actually propping up the actual player who is now the best in the NBA.
Yeah, they create drama. They create drama with takes instead of creating drama with the game itself. They create drama with takes instead of with the actual game, which has a lot of drama. But again, those two players are in small markets. But after 30 years of the NBA understanding how to market their league, they should have no problem with small market teams with two stars.
OKC had Russ and KD, and they marketed that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They can do a better job. They got to do a better job. So shout out to Casual. Thank you for joining me. I know it's kind of late, so you hear us talking here, but Casual does a great job. Y'all make sure to subscribe to Lo's channel and also the Casual channel. Lo, what's your other channel's name? Because I know you only use one channel now. What's the Foot on the Line?
I do. No, I uploaded on Foot on the Line today. I uploaded on Low Post yesterday or 2 days before that, and I have a more deep dive video about the whole rating things on my main channel coming out. So I uploaded on all 3 of the channels.
Okay. So all right. So Legend of Winning is still alive. That channel is still
Legend of Winning, Low Post, and Foot on the Line. I just want everybody to know, also in the chat, because I see people bucking back on this. A lot of what y'all talking about is based off of nostalgia. What I'm telling y'all, it's a fact. Stars have always ruled ratings. That's everything y'all saying about everything that's happening now. They said back in the late 90s or early 2000s. It's the same thing. Can they change the rules? Sure, I have no problem with them changing the rules. But until a star is set in place, none of these things are really ever.
Hello, who's the next? Who the next star? Cash cow. It was supposed to be John Morant. He tricked it out.
That's the other problem. That a lot of the next ups have never really mapped out. Zion didn't map out. John didn't map out. Lonzo didn't map out. Wiggins didn't map out.
Melo's the next one. Melo's. I see a lot of people love Melo
too. Yeah, but they don't. But now they're too far invested into LeBron, Curry, and KD because so many people didn't map out, and so now they just keep going back and forth. The OKC and Cleveland game that they just now are starting to promote on ESPN. Before that, it was a Suns and Wizards game.
You see, that was what I brought up. I remember you. That's what I was saying. I brought that up earlier in the show. How
it really shouldn't be that hard of a pivot, though, should it?
Hey, Lo,
it shouldn't be that hard of a pivot.
No, but who decides that? Who decides that? Doesn't ESPN have a say so on which games they can watch, or the NBA says these are the games we want you to put on?
I think the NBA divvies them out because the NBA also has to retain.
They have licenses.
But I think they divvy it out because then I know how would you be able to switch in the middle of the season like that? I don't know. I don't know. All I know is another thing though. Like they have rival week. Rival week is about to happen in a month. The first game in rival week is the Knicks and Nets. No one wants to watch that.
Wait, they
That's
play
not a
games.
rival.
Hold on,
Is that a rival?
Low.
Nah,
They
that's
play.
not
Low,
right.
don't they play games on multiple different medias? Like whenever they do the New
Knicks
York
and the
games,
Heat, that's
they'll have a
wild.
Knick game on TNT, and they'll have the same Knick game playing on MSG Network. Yeah. MSG Network.
That's another. These little nuances though. The reason why when people try to argue like year for year why it's completely incorrect. In the 90s, they just showing games on Saturday when nothing else is really being played. So of course the ratings are going to be higher because that's the only thing to watch.
Yeah.
Now, one game can be split between ESPN and also the local network. And then also there's also games being showed on TNT on Tuesday and Thursday, ABC and ESPN on Monday and Wednesday or whatever the day it is, and
Wednesday
then also
and Friday.
ABC on Saturday. Yeah, like there's different. There's way more things that go into it. The truth of the matter is, that people actually do their research. LeBron, Steph, and KD games do relatively fine in contrast to everything else. The problem is that they're stuck on these stars that don't really play. So it feels like, oh my God, low manage is the problem because Embiid and Kawhi and them not playing.
Low manage.
But they don't show Jason Tatum games who practically plays all the time. They don't show Donovan Mitchell.
Didn't Mikal Bridges play 83 games last year?
They don't show Mikal Bridges. They don't show the players who actually play, but they keep pushing players that we know for a fact are injury prone. We know at this point. Embiid
Did anybody in the 90s ever play 83 games in the season, Lou? Have you ever heard of it? Nobody. But again, it's really a silly notion because, like you said, what happened is, and this is the true idea of it. If you're a smart person beyond basketball, if you understand finance, the NBA invested in cable television in the early 2000s, and because cable television is no longer a thing, that investment is coming back to haunt them. It's just like if you bought a stock when it was hot and you held on to it, and at the end, when it plummeted, you're stuck with the bag, like most stockbrokers will tell you. So the NBA is stuck with the cable bag, and that's why they're moving on to more streaming platforms, and that's why they denied TNT, although TNT matched the offer, because TNT does not have the capabilities of an Amazon because of streaming purposes. Because cable is just, nobody has cable. Majority of people just stopped having cable. It was a rise during the 90s. It was at its peak in the 2000s. And now it's on a downfall. It's completely on a downfall. So let's let Casual in and then we can get up out of here. What up, Casual, man? Thank you for joining me, brother. What you got for me today, man?
What's up, y'all? What's up? Real quick, I have smoke. Not on no Debo shit. Not on no Debo shit. I swear, Ajani, I'm not gonna bully anybody. Except for Herm. Herm, why did you let? I'm sorry, though. I don't like this. I don't like this nigga Herm because he lets this nigga Lamont get away with some bullshit. Herm, why did you let him?
Because Ron kept talking though.
You should you whenever you in the Discord server, you be ready to fuck shit up.
And
You
I
should have
did
did
cook Lamar before he.
No, you didn't.
He did say fuck FYF and everything that is associated.
No. Ajani. Y'all let this nigga Lamont come up here and say that bullshit of an excuse talking about shot clock is the reason that the 3-point shots are as high as they are right now. Are you fucking
That's not what he said. I don't think
that's what he said.
I thought he said the shot clock dictates offense.
It dictates the offense, and that is not true because you look at the Boston Celtics, they're leading the league in threes with 51 a game, and they're not even coming down looking for a quality shot. Defense are practically giving Jason Tatum the lane, and he's choosing to sidestep to the three. I'm literally watching in the Discord server, Milwaukee versus the Cavaliers. Darius Garland is quite literally getting an open lane, and he's conceding it for a step back three. That is not shot clock influencing your shot. That ain't even the second cop out answer that nigga used about how defenses is playing so well that it's making you take.
Did Cleveland blow out Milwaukee tonight? Is that why you upset?
Yes, they did, and the reason that they were able to do that was because they were knocking down their threes. But the thing is, they are practically looking for the three. That is their first and second action.
That's true.
Do you think that low? Do you think teams bypass getting to the rim before shooting a three?
It depends on the team, but a lot of teams are shooting more threes because they feel like even when the rotation comes, it's going to swing it to the weakest shooter on the floor anyway. So then in their minds, they're probably thinking this quick three is probably the best option that we have.
The best shot that we can get right now. Okay.
What's even worse is though, because of the prevalence of threes, the one thing I've noticed is that like there's way more blowouts now. Because like if you can't compete on the 3-point line,
can't keep up with them.
You can't keep up at all. Like you are going to lose by 20.
Like we're watching Chicago, who literally last season they were at the bottom of the league in 3-point attempts. They're quite literally winning games just because their guard play is at a pace that's beating teams to the 3-point line that they're just chucking them up. You got
They're
Josh
top
Giddey
10.
taking threes.
They're
Josh
top
Giddey
10
should
in
never
3-point
in
shooting,
any
though.
system be taking as many threes as he had.
But
as he
that's what I'm
had
saying. But they're
last
top
season.
10 in shooting. They're top 10 shooting in the
They're
NBA.
number 2.
That's crazy, actually.
That's crazy.
What are they making though? What's the percentage they making?
They knocking it down at a 37 point. They knocking it down.
Oh, well, that makes sense then. Then keep doing
No, fuck that.
Thank you, Lo. I'm so glad. Thank you, Lo. I'm glad Lo said it. Thank you, Lo.
You making your threes at a 38% clip,
But they
respectfully.
were knocking it down at a 36% clip.
Even at that, that's great.
No, they were not. Last year they were knocking it down at a 36% clip, and it was it was like 32 threes a game or something like that. DeMar DeRozan come off the team, boom. Oh, I guess that's all we needed for us to just start taking 7 more threes. That's crazy.
Yeah, but
if
you're making them at a 38% clip, bro, I don't know what to tell you. You're gonna keep
Exactly. I don't know what to tell y'all.
So what do you say to a team like the Orlando Magic who's taking 37 this year compared to last year? I think they were taking like something around the line of. Hold on, let me go to it right now. I don't want to lie to you.
No. Chicago is
Orlando was second to last at 31.3 last year.
So they now attempting 6.
They're attempting 6 more, and they're shooting 5% less.
How much more of that is just them adding KCP, who's adding probably like 2 more threes than whoever he's replacing? Franz probably attempting another 3 that he normally wasn't attempting. Jalen Suggs now, like I think a lot of it is just like
a lot of it has to do with the fact that the players that they have on the floor now as well.
Well, hold on,
all 3-point shooters.
because
remember, everything that they built on that team is for Banchero, which attacks the basket, right? So you got Wagner, who just recently got hurt, but outside of that, a lot of those guys are catch and shoot guys. Like you said, they brought in the KCP to be a catch and shoot guy. Suggs, Black, all those guys are really catch and shoot guys.
Wagner's taking 6.4 compared to last year, where he was taking 4.6. Jalen Suggs is taking 5. He's taking 7.1 to where he was taking 5.1 last year.
How much of those are catch and shoot?
KCP is taking 4.7. KCP, you say it again?
Yeah, how much of that's catch and shoot more than taking it off the dribble? Because what you're talking about is like what Darren Garland did, but instead of attacking the basket, he's shooting off the dribble. A lot of those guys, like Jalen Suggs and them, are catch and shoot guys. That's what I'm saying. Like they don't, you know what I mean? Like it's rare. Like only the real good NBA players be shooting off the dribble like that. You don't really just see, like we don't see Pritchard just shooting off the dribble like that.
But see, that doesn't make sense because a player like Caleb Houston, last year he was getting meaningful minutes and he was taking 3.3 threes a game. So it's just like essentially between Caleb Houston and probably like Markelle Fultz, you're just swapping out the 3-point diet with KCPs. So like the moral of the story is
I get what you're saying.
And even in Franz's case, like we watch I would like to think like especially you, I see you on playback usually low. Like y'all watch Orlando games just like we do. And Franz is like he's actively when he's shooting that many threes, he's sort of negating from putting pressure on defenses to create those opportunities that made him such a prevalent playmaker. And so like that's the ultimate problem when it comes to some of these teams because like as much as I respect the 3-point volume, bro, some of these teams you just aren't equipped to take as many threes as you don't have the personnel to take those many threes, especially when it comes at the cost of the quality of offenses. Especially when it comes to dynamics.
I agree with what you're saying in essence. All I'm saying is two things. A, it's really hard to say these things when offensively, like the league is like there's never been more points produced on a per possession basis over the last like 3 or 4 years. Like it just isn't.
I do agree. I agree.
And in a much bigger scope, like yes, we can probably go on teams that existed and like we can just like find out who's shooting too many threes, but that is also always existed. The way that people, for example, the way that people talk about Jason Williams, like White Chocolate back in the day, it is with nothing but praise. Oh my God, great ball handler, great passer, great showmanship. He was attempting 7 threes a game, shooting 30%.
That elbow pass.
See, that's the point, Lo. See, that's the point, Lo. You can't put pressure on nobody, on no defense, when you shoot 30% from the 3-point line. The reason Wagner has to, but the reason Casual Wagner is taking those threes is to put pressure on the defense, because that alleviates because now you're helping the defense by attacking them every time. But when they're sitting there waiting for you at the rim, you don't want to give me that you don't want to give me the basket. All right, I'm gonna take this three. When I start hitting him, you have no choice but to come out here. Now I got the lane. You see what I'm saying? Now I got it.
I think what
it alleviates my pressure. Forget me putting pressure on the defense. I am putting pressure on the defense because now you got to guard me 5 feet to 25 feet, bro. That's a big space to cover.
Johnny, I hear what you're saying. And I'm not trying to make it seem like numerically is what I'm basing my opinion off of. I'm saying the quality of the three. Like, we're seeing players, even like Franz or Jalen Suggs, just because Paolo's out, it's not just the fact that they're upping the rate of threes. They're conceding even trying to put pressure on the defense just for the sake of putting a three up. That's what I'm saying. When it comes to the three-point shot, at least I've said it before, I think this is the most skilled the entire league has ever been. But with that type of skill set and talent, that comes more ability to be able to create dynamic offenses, be able to force the defense to bend in different ways that they weren't able to before. And these players, unfortunately, with all the skill that they have, they choose to select just one skill when there's a plethora of other skill sets that a Franz provides, or a Zach LaVine provides, or Kobe White provides, that could be able to assist the team offensively. We agree with
you.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Fair, but it's really hard. For example, it's really hard to convince Vucevic, Big Vooch, to be down.
All right.
When he's shooting from three, it's like, damn, at some
thank
point,
you, thank you, Lo.
Threshold, where it's like I understand what you're saying. There's other ways to score. I get that, but like when we are getting to a point where, like, they're shooting so well from three, and like if you're somebody who's shooting like 30% from three, yes, I understand there's other aspects, but
exactly
there's not as many of
there's
those
no
players.
other aspects. You're limited. You shoot 30 from 3-point lane, you're limited. You're limited.
Not that many other players that are doing those things. Like, I don't even think like Jalen Suggs right now, his 3-point shooting is bad. Part of that though is also because both Paolo and Franz are now down, so he's now picking up responsibility that he really and truly should not be handling.
But when his three-point shooting was spotty before they even went down, though.
Last year he shot like 30.
No. I'm saying this season.
But it was small.
Casual.
I would like to see.
Casual.
I only played 5 games.
Listen, there's 50 players, more than 50 players in today's NBA in this season that are shooting 40% or better from the 3-point land. There are over 115 players that shoot at 35%, which is just average. So if the thing is that as good as you say because y'all got to remember, as good as the high percentage shot is, not a lot of guys are good at the high percentage shot. Wagner's probably better at shooting a 3-pointer than getting his layup. Some of these guys are not great at getting layups. They're not good at finishing. That's what I'm saying. So that's why sometimes those guys take it, because their average 3-point shooting.
What I'm about to say is, Johnny.
Yeah.
But Johnny, I'm about to tell you right now that the 50 is fine. The 50 is fine. What about Wemby?
Wemby's a star. Wemby's a star.
Wemby is probably the best example of somebody I get frustrated with, where I'm like, bro, you are
conceding.
I love him. Listen. But see, this is why I say we got to do the '90s thing. We got to create the nostalgia. We have to say guys like
and
Trae
that is
Young.
True also.
Yeah. Guys like Trae Young. Instead of saying, "Oh my God, why is he taking that?" We should be like, "That's remarkable." Like when Jordan tried to dunk on a 7-foot center. And when Jordan tried to do the up and round layups and reverses that he bricked, because he bricked a lot of those layups. Okay. But when he made it, it was a highlight that we all praised. So when we see Wemby come down and he's doing that Chet Holmgren thing, because that's what Oklahoma City does with Chet Holmgren, where he doesn't run the floor. He's the last guy there. He trails on purpose, because if you're not going out there for that 30-footer, guess what he's going to do?
Pop it down. He's going to pop it.
Pop and catch and shoot. And if he shoots it at 35%, oh my God! Again, it's just as good as him shooting 64% at the rim, which he's actually better. He's better at the rim than 64%.
He is. But there's nothing different from a lot of these threes than long twos that were happening 20 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah, and so I just want to be clear. And to the people in the chat who keep sitting here saying these, like, oh no, I hear these arguments, and I'm like, bro, the same thing y'all saying now is what was being said 25 years ago. Half of y'all were either drunk or too young to remember what was going on 25 years ago. But when y'all complain about refereeing, bro, refereeing was so bad in the early 2000s. There were literally refs betting on games. That's how bad refereeing was.
No. Imagine
God,
this, Lo.
About his podcast, Shaq had a whole movie when he went to LA. He was making rap videos. He didn't care. Everybody sitting and said, "Oh my God, John Moran, he don't want to dunk no more." Vince Carter said the same thing. Vince Carter, they were accusing Vince Carter of not caring. They asked that man straight up, "Hey, do you give 100%?" He said no. The same things are happening, bro. The difference is that there was a Kobe Bryant in the league, so you didn't care. That's the difference.
Thank you. And you know why they didn't care? I'm glad you said it, because that's what I was going to bring up. The Kobe Bryant, Alvin Gentry play. If that was today, people would be eating him like, look at him taking this bad, horrible shot, contested shot over the player. Look at him. But because like back then, like I said, they nostalgia. They gave it a nostalgia. This is a great player. This is Will. Look how he was. This is contest. And then he taps the coach on the side as he goes. We all talk about it as a great play, but we all know that's a bad shot. In basketball terms. It was
a finals. It was a finals with Michael Jordan where Utah scored 54 points, and nobody doesn't say anything. We just move on. So again, because there's no stars now.
John Stockton is a top 5 point guard. But Malone's a top 5 power forward. What are you talking?
Jason Kidd is better than John Stockton too. Jason Kidd better than John Stockton.
So I want and also people want defense. But when
they play defense,
people who really love the NBA probably do on defense, but the casual fan doesn't. When Tim Duncan and the Spurs went up against Detroit, nobody watched that finals. Nobody was watching Tim Duncan and Jason Kidd, and it could have been the lowest ratings in years.
It was.
It was bad.
Lower than what we're seeing right now.
It was bad.
So if we're having a ratings correlation, even when defense was peaking, people still weren't watching unless Michael Jordan, Kobe, or Shaq was involved. That is just the reality. That's the truth.
No.
I think
go ahead, Herm. Go ahead.
I think Tim Duncan finals always had somewhat low ratings though.
Yeah, they always did because nobody was.
Because that was fundamental basketball. That was it. I told y'all. That's like giving the ball to Rudy Gobert. Here you go, Rudy Gobert, all day long. Go ahead, Rudy Gobert.
No, don't compare it. Don't compare my goat to Tim. Don't.
No. I'm saying because Lamont made a great point. Y'all talk out of both sides of your mouths. You want the physicality, you want the '90s basketball, but you degrade Draymond Green. You see what I'm saying?
That is also true.
Yeah, you want.
None of y'all watch Orlando. Y'all don't watch Houston now. Y'all don't watch OK. Y'all just sit here and make videos about Bronny and LeBron.
Exactly.
But y'all don't actually watch the teams that play defense now.
Y'all want big men basketball, but y'all don't want to give Rudy Gobert, who has the best true shooting and one of the high efficiency big men in the game, the ball enough so he can score more. When y'all complaining about getting the most high efficient shot, when Rudy Gobert is getting you that the most. In the NBA.
Y'all don't want to watch. Y'all don't want to. There's double big lineups being ran in Cleveland, and y'all don't watch that now.
Talk about watching. Lo, how can I watch you on Watchback? Because I'm sorry, on Playback. How can I watch you on Playback? Because I'm very interested. What do I got to do to watch you on Playback to watch games?
You just got to. It's just playback.com. I mean playback.tv/Lowe's Room. That's it.
So it's playback.tv.com. That's the actual site.
No, playback.tv.
Oh, .tv. Backslash Lowe's Room. Okay. So is that like an NBA site? Is that is that something separate?
They're their own site, but they work with the NBA.
I got a question.
I see. I'm definitely subscribing and support that.
To stream on Playback, do we need NBA League Pass?
Yes.
Once you become a creator, they'll give you it.
They'll give it to you.
In the beginning, you have to.
Okay. That's
what if you already have it? So if I create a channel
you just link your league pass with that, and it'll start. You'll be able to.
You find me and Sturdy and Hollywood Herm in a Playback TV session near you.
Hey, talk about that.
Low
listen.
always cooking on there too.
Yeah, Low does a great. Low's a real basketball fan. The first time I saw him on playback, he was screaming. I was like, "Yo, do you scream every play?" He said no. He said no. And every time I see a video, he's screaming on it. Every time somebody do a great play, Low's going crazy. He's going berserk because he can't. He's a real basketball fan. So shout out to you, Low, man. We appreciate you, man. Yeah, man. Anyway,
I know you want to wrap this up, Ajani. I just got three things to say. I'll just wrap.
Okay, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
One, Lamont, don't you say that BS again. Because I'm gonna come here every single time, because I'm about tired of you.
What you got on my 40, homie?
It's been a long time coming. Herm, don't you do that. Don't you let him get away with that BS.
I didn't do it.
What $200? What $200? What $200? What $200? What $200?
And I cooked it before you said the word.
I hear you.
I cooked it before you said
to all these FYF members in the chat. We have a server that we watch games on a regular basis. Don't sit up in here talking in that chat as if y'all watching these games and y'all not in that server, because y'all providing evidence that y'all don't watch the shit. Because I'm telling you right now, if anybody actually cares about like genuine basketball, Kenny Atkinson be getting his respect in Cleveland right now, because what they playing right now is some real basketball. Both offensively and defensively. What I just saw tonight, and I don't care that I'm a Bucks fan. I just saw tonight, that was beautiful basketball. So, and then 3, Low, leave my Bucks alone. All right, I saw that video.
That shit.
That's good. Hey.
Niggas thought I was gonna pick up and run where they beat up the Wizards and the Pistons.
You leave my Bucks alone when we beat. Because I'm not gonna lie to you. There was a couple shows that was sitting there acting as if, literally saying out of their mouth, "We're gonna get smoked by OKC." Where?
No, that was a good game.
Yeah,
I had the Bucks winning that game. So I don't
acting like shit not being there ain't gonna be important. Man, fuck about here. But that's all. Please make sure to go subscribe to Casual Sports Fan. Please make sure to go into the Take Debate server. You can go into FYF server right now. We'll drop the link for you to be able to join our server and watch games with me, Sturdy, Herm, Chris, Ajani. The whole crew be up in there on a regular basis. So please join the server. And once again, bro, appreciate you, Ajani, for letting me up, bro. I appreciate you for everything you do.
No problem. No, I appreciate it, man. Listen, we all real content creators here. I appreciate all you guys.
Well,
Thank you.
All of us. But I'm starting to see what you and Lamont are saying. To all the people who basically have channels just shitting on LeBron and Bronny and then complaining about viewership when you don't watch the game, because you don't ever make a video about Orlando, about Houston, about OKC, about Boston, about any of those teams, because you love drama, which is fine. That's fine. But stop sitting here telling people the reason why the sport is bad when you don't even watch it yourself. You box score read, because I know you don't watch Bronny games, because if I asked you where do you actually go watch G League games, you couldn't tell me. Stop.
Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, that was a great take. Listen, man, I'd like to thank Low for joining me. I'd like to thank Hollywood Hearn for being a GOAT James Kingdom member and supporter. I always told you guys, if you are a content creator, we help you guys with videos, reels, graphs, memes. You see, we do it best here in GOAT James Kingdom. So shout out to you, Hollywood Hearn. Y'all make sure to subscribe to all those brothers' channels and support them on Discord, because we are all on Discord as well. We're on other platforms like TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch. We're all over the place. Twitter, we are the best when we talk about creating content. So shout out to The Casual as well. The Casual has several channels, so y'all make sure to follow all his channels and support what he does. He's a real basketball fan because he's a Bucks fan, right? So that means he has no choice but to watch a game. Whether his team is good or not, he's watching the Bucks. Just like me, whether my Heat are good or not, I'm watching the Heat. Just like Ro, if the Knicks are good or not, he's watching the Knicks. I'm guessing Herm's a Memphis Grizzlies fan, so he appreciates them. So shout out to Herm, and also Low. I think Low's just a basketball fan, but I think truly he's a Lakers fan. If I'm correct, I've never really asked him that. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a great show. You're right. Thank you, Iron Man. I appreciate you guys for supporting us. So again, ladies and gentlemen, this was the Friday Night Exposure with the Exposer. Like I told y'all, I go live every Friday night. Today's show was about the LeBron fan versus the 10 LeBron haters. It was a great show, so go to House of Highlights and watch that. We eventually tailed off and started talking about the NBA ratings and the three-point shooting and the game plan, and we had a great conversation about that. So that was also wonderful. So ladies and gentlemen, like I always told you, y'all, we are the Clutch Sports Hitmen. If you want to catch Brandon and I every Sunday noon Eastern time, you're more than welcome to join us on a Sunday afternoon where we talk the GOAT conversation in basketball in general. We are the Clutch Sports Hitmen. You guys know what we do every Sunday noon right here on the GOAT James Kingdom platform. Subscribe to our channel. Check out the GOAT James Kingdom membership, because when you become a GOAT James Kingdom member, we take care of you. We support what you guys do, especially if you're a content creator. If content creators are out there, holla at us, because like I said, we have special chats where I get with you guys. I still got to find a way to get with all the GOAT James Kingdom members at once, where we can find one spot for all of us to get together. But either way, if you are a GOAT James Kingdom member, thank you for supporting what we do here in GOAT James Kingdom. If you're not a GOAT James Kingdom member, just go right on ahead and go to our YouTube channel, hit the join button. You'll see the different tiers: the Knights of DJK, the Castle Knights of DJK, the King Guards of GJK, and each particular tier will provide you specific perks that are available to you as a GOAT James Kingdom member. So ladies and gentlemen, don't be afraid to go ahead and support what we do here, because Brandon and I will continue to do what we do, which is actually talk the game of basketball. But tonight is the Friday Night Exposure with the Exposer, where I do what I want. I get to talk about whatever I want to talk about, and it was a great show. I want to thank everybody who joined the panel today. Thank everybody in the comments for supporting what we do here in GOAT James Kingdom. So like I told y'all, this is the best place to do it. We do this every Friday night. We do this every Sunday night. We are the best. And as we always told y'all, LeBron James is the GOAT. So y'all have a wonderful Friday night. Peace and blessings. If you're a basketball fan and you're tired of basketball shows that talk about fake narratives and using non-basketball terms like killer instinct, playoff translation, gravity, come to GOAT James Kingdom.
First topic. No.
Welcome to GOAT James Kingdom, where basketball lives forever. You get to enjoy BB and Ajani talk basketball every Sunday noon Eastern time right here on the GOAT James Kingdom channel. Support by subscribing, and also check out the membership at GOAT James Kingdom.